All right, everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of the HOTFIX. Glad to have you all here. I am Darkman78, and today we have a special SGDQ Preview broadcast. So for those who aren't aware, SGDQ 2019 is coming up very soon. Actually starts in 8 days as of this broadcast, so June 23rd. It's going to be June 23rd to June 30th, which is cool. And we're showing off some of the games that you may see at SGDQ. So for this particular broadcast, we're going to be showing off Super Mario Galaxy 2, which is going to be a solo run. It's going to be Friday, June 28th at 1:03 a.m. Event time, which is Central Daylight Time. And Super Viper T302 is going to be running that. So we thought, why not kick things off a little bit and kind of show a preview of what to expect. So we decided to do a little three-way race. So we're going to have 3 runners, Super Viper T302, of course, as well as How to Cantaloupe and Claire. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead, nice, chill, casual race, kind of go through the game. So it'll take about 3.5 hours, maybe a little bit less. And, yeah, it'll be fantastic. So joining me today are these 2 fantastic commenters that we have. We have Oddme and The Sludgy Gamer. So, fellas, welcome.
Hello. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Hello. So, yeah, if you want to talk for a minute or two about what to expect while we transition and get ready for the start of this.
So, for those who watch a lot of the other 3D Marios, like 64, Sunshine, Odyssey, those are, like, really fast-paced and get, like, a bunch of stars or shines or moons really quick. Galaxy 2, well, both of the Galaxy games, but especially 2, slows things down a bit. As you can see, any percent is around 3 hours long. The record's actually a 3 flat 23 by Nemi. This game has a lot more downtime than those other 3 games, and despite the movement not exactly being the most exciting thing in the world, it's mostly long jumps just being used to get across. There are a lot, like this game, going fast relies a lot on mainly skips, and a lot of those skips involve like gravity manipulation and going to different planets when you shouldn't. That's basically the whole, like, the main point of it when it comes to a speedrun. Got all 3 runners here using completely different icons. Glad one of them's using a Luma. I'm sure Sludgy's happy about Luigi.
Love Luigi. Another thing to note is if you've seen a Galaxy 1 run, it can be kind of hard to optimize, but overall that run is fairly simple, I'd say. I think this game is quite a bit more punishing. There's a lot more skips where if you fail it, it's not simply just a small time loss or even a big time loss. It's like you might actually die on a lot of these skips. Some of them are more precise as well. I'm not sure which skips each runner does, but there's definitely some really tight ones in this run.
Yeah, out of all of the 3D Mario games, I'd probably consider this one the most punishing, even though it's one of the easier games out of the 5. Because unlike Galaxy 1, where if you go to a new planet, that planet is your checkpoint. So if you die, you just go back to that planet. This game actually has physical checkpoints. So if you, no matter how far you are into a level, if you didn't touch a checkpoint and you die, you go all the way back to the start. So you have to really make sure you have precise movement and don't die anywhere unless you're really close to a checkpoint.
A thing you'll be seeing the runners doing very early on. We've already started. You'll probably see it within a few seconds. Throughout the whole run, they're going to be shooting away their star bits because in this run we use the bank toad to get all the star bits that we need for the Hungry Lumas. So if you have star bits at the end of a level, depending on how many you can have, you can lose a fraction of a second to maybe upwards of a second. And if you do that on all 70 levels throughout the whole game, it just adds up to a big time loss. So they try to shoot away as many star bits as they can so that they finish the level with 0 star bits.
Yeah, a lot of people like to consider Bank Toad New Game Plus because the way Bank Toad works is at a certain point in the game, we'll probably see him around World 2 or World 1. I don't know when he shows up, but when he does show up, he carries a certain amount of star bits, and if you're starting from a very fresh file with no other files, he'll have 0. if you put starbits into Bank Toad, those starbits get carried over to other files. So if you put 300 starbits into Bank Toad and then you start a new file, when Bank Toad shows up in your new file, he'll already have 300. And that's what makes him so broken in this run, is because there's a lot of hungry Lumas that spawn galaxies if you feed them starbits. And because of Bank Toad, we don't need to collect any, because we can just take them all out and then feed the Lumas and save a lot of time.
And a lot of the levels from Bank Toad or from Hungry Lumas are pretty quick. I think the only one we skip is World 5, I think. Maybe World 4. No, we do World 4. We skip Fleet Glide, and I think that's it.
Yeah. So I guess one thing we should mention, Cantaloupe is playing on the Japanese version. In Galaxy 1, the JP saves like a lot of time, especially in 120, because there's a lot of text in that game, and text moves way faster on JP. But in this game, it doesn't really matter. Both English and Japanese are very fast with text.
A bigger difference might be Virtual Console, because I know the loads are quicker on Virtual Console. I'm not sure which of these runners are on Virtual Console, but I'd imagine they're probably all on disc.
Yeah. I use VC, and it's definitely noticeable when the loads are faster. Here we got the first level of the game, Sky Station 1. Pretty good introductory level. The movement's pretty basic, just a bunch of long jumps and triple jumps. Right here, they might be doing a skip here. Cantaloupe and Viper both going for it. Nice.
You can bounce off the Luma using a spinning ground pound and skip on over to the planet where the launch star is without having to take a sling star over there.
Yeah, Claire just used the launch star. It's a lot safer to do it because sometimes you might not get the best angle on the Luma bounce, and then you just won't make it and then you'll die. And if you didn't get that checkpoint like we said earlier, you'll have to go all the way back to the start.
We can kind of let them just play through this level. There's not really too much here. But one thing we should talk about is Comet Medals. It's another difference between the first and second game. In the first game, comets appear. Comets are like harder versions of other levels in the game. They appear somewhat like they appear what looks like to be randomly in the first game. There is a pattern to them, but casually you wouldn't really notice a pattern. But in this game, comets appear after you collect comet medals, and a lot of comets are really fast, so we usually don't skip very many comet medals in this run. We skipped 2, I think.
Yeah.
One in Fluffy Bluff and one in the final level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, comet medals definitely make routing comets in this game a lot easier than Galaxy 1, I'd say. A lot of this game, when it comes to like the route, really revolves around comets, and unlike Galaxy 1 where there's a pattern, comets, when they appear, they stay. Like, they do not go away, so it makes it so much easier to like make a route out of those, because you can just go to a certain world and then the comet will just be there for you to go to.
Another easy thing, or another thing that's made easier in this game for routing, is it's often criticism by casual players, but it's really good for speedruns, is you have a normal world map instead of a hub that you have to run around. So you can move around the worlds and levels really quickly in this game. So there's a couple times throughout the run where maybe you'll be in, like, you'll unlock World 5, but then you'll go and play some levels from, like, World 3 or something, just to get a couple extra stars and then keep going. It's really nice that you don't have to move around a ton of different hub worlds like you do in the first game.
Speaking of which, on Cantaloupe's screen you get to see our hub world, Starship Mario. Basically a giant spaceship in the shape of Mario's face. More like a face ship.
Aha! Lubba's over here with his classic jokes.
That was pretty poor.
Yeah. The only movement you'll really see on the Starship Mario is walking or backflipping towards the yellow panel that sends you to the world map, and then occasionally Lubba will bring you to the bottom of the ship when a new NPC gets put on the ship, and from there you kind of just long jump up onto the yellow panel and then just go on your merry way.
Yep, and as you can see, this is our world map, which makes traveling to different levels a lot faster, as Sludgy said. And instead of going to this new galaxy that we just saw, we're just gonna go right back to Sky Station.
Sky Station 2, as far as I can remember, doesn't really have anything, like any big skips. You kind of just move really quickly throughout the whole level. But
yeah, at
coming
the
up
very
on...
start, we do like one long jump to skip like the entire top portion, and just go straight to the chomps.
Yeah, you'll see Cantaloupe do it here. It's nothing too complicated. But coming up on Yoshi Star 1, the next level, we will start to see the first big trick of the game, which I guess we could explain. Yoshi Fluttering now.
Yeah, so one thing that this game has that Galaxy 1 doesn't, aside from one appearance in a planet, is Yoshi. And Yoshi, if you've played Super Mario Sunshine, he's a lot different in this game. Because his flutters are like they go a lot higher than they do in Sunshine. But also, there is a really major glitch that you can do with him in this game called the Infinite Flutter. And basically what that does is, the name implies it pretty well. In the middle of Flutter, if you cancel it and then Flutter again, you can keep on gaining height or keep gaining speed depending on what kind of skip you're doing. And it basically breaks every level that Yoshi's in.
Yeah, so the way it works is usually you have more momentum if you're like moving backwards or sideways and not pointing in the direction that Yoshi is facing. And you can only do a certain amount of flutters before you start to kind of just stop dead in your tracks. But you can usually move quick enough to pull off a lot of flutters. So yeah, pretty much every single level that has Yoshi in it, there will be an infinite flutter trick. It's not really all that surprising that there's an infinite flutter trick, because it seems like nearly every game that Yoshi can flutter in, there's something he can do.
Yeah, Sunshine has one, but it's not like insanely broken like this game.
And it's harder to pull off, from what I can tell. So, Cantaloupe seems to be ahead from what we can see, and he's going to be going into Yoshi Star 1 first. The flutter he's going to do saves, I want to say 40 seconds or something, but I honestly don't know. But he is going to bounce off of a berry and just pass by a giant volcano and skip like 2 planets, 3 planets, or something.
It skips a few
planets in a long time. But right now, they're just kind of in downtime.
Yeah, so a lot of the downtime in this game is just going back to the Starship, and then occasionally Lubba will talk to you about something new that appeared on the ship, or just to give you some motivation for the rest of your journey. And then you just go back onto the launch panel. In terms of the amount of downtime, this game definitely has more, but it goes by a lot faster than Galaxy 1's.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the levels are definitely shorter than the first game. So Cantaloupe, as I said, is coming up on the flutter. What he's going to do is he's going to take Yoshi and flutter over to the pillar where the Comet Medal is. And then from there, he's going to start the flutter by bouncing on a berry. And the reason he's able to bounce on it without Yoshi eating it is he will press B beforehand, which will stick out Yoshi's tongue. And since it's not targeted on anything, it'll be out, but he won't be able to eat anything. So he's fluttering now. This looks like a pretty good angle. And after a little bit, he'll jump off and make it right over to the planet.
Vipers looks good too.
Yeah, Vipers is pretty good.
Nice. Cantaloupe gets it.
The real dangerous part is sometimes you can be too far to the left, and then when you jump off, Mario will just start falling forever. There's another flutter here that Cantaloupe's about to do. He kind of just goes up. Oh, yeah, Claire's camera is kind of bad right now, so we'll see if she's going to be able to pull this off.
It's kind of fixed. Just taking a while to set it up.
That angle looks kind of scary.
Nice.
Ah, she made it. Nice.
It's better to take a long time to set it up and get it than to not get it at all, because it loses a lot of time if you miss it.
Yeah, because again, you get sent back to the very beginning of the level. No checkpoints unless you touch them.
And then not only that, but you also have to kill Kamek again, and then go back and get Yoshi.
Yeah. So we have an easier but much bigger skip coming up in Yoshi Star 2, also involving Yoshi. This time, instead of skipping a large portion of the level, we actually just skip the entire level and go right to the boss. And I know there's a couple of different ways to do the skip, but to be honest, I've never had like too much trouble with it.
Everybody does it differently.
Simple. Yeah, it's pretty simple. But yeah, they're just gonna flutter right on over to the boss, and then they'll beat the boss, which also uses Yoshi.
Yeah, the main way to do this level is, as you can see by the little intro cutscene, there's a launch star in that cage over there, and you need to grab a spiny, which is the gimmick of this level, and shoot that cage, and then just go on a whole adventure around this galaxy, and then go to the boss. But as we'll see by these 3 players here very soon, you're gonna get on Yoshi, and then just break it. Never mind, you know, look at a bad angle.
You may be able to tell, as we said earlier, how this game is more punishing. That can be pretty evident here.
Oh,
Like right there. If you screw up a Yoshi flutter, it's not uncommon that it probably means you will die and then get sent back to the start of the level.
Luckily, this flutter is not as punishing as Yoshi Star 1.
Yeah. So Viper's starting up the
right
boss
there.
here. For this boss, you basically just have to shoot the spinies back. You can set it up in a way after the second hit where you'll already have a spiny in your mouth, so that you don't have to wait for him to throw the spiny in the third hit. But other than that, there's nothing crazy, except Viper crawling around there with Yoshi.
Oh, he missed spiny. Claire doing a really fast first hit, and then dies? Did she get the checkpoint?
Interesting. Oh, she didn't.
Oh no. Yeah, that strat that she did for the very first hit is really risky because you have to infinite flutter with Yoshi to get enough height to stay up in the air. Just in time to get off Yoshi after the hit, because if you hit anything, well, not really if you hit anything, if you chuck a spiny off of Yoshi's mouth, he'll just stop moving altogether, and there's a very limited amount of time you can backflip off of him. So you have to get enough height with an infinite flutter to make sure you can go back onto the ground and kill Yoshi.
So we're going to Spin Dig next, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll be seeing another power-up, different from Yoshi this time. It's the drill, which just drills into dirt. There's nothing crazy on this level either. There's a triple jump you do at the very beginning to skip having to climb a vine or go in a pipe or something. But you'll see it really early on. And then in the boss fight, has some RNG in it where after each hit on the boss, he will try to jump around on a planet, and then you kind of just run toward his legs and hope he jumps over you, so then he skips the rest of his jumps, and we'll just go on to being exposed again, but it is RNG. So it's not guaranteed it will happen.
Yeah, as you can see, Viper just skipped that whole first planet there because he did one little triple jump. There's a lot of skips in this game that aren't really like super game breaking. It's just really dumb developer oversights.
Yeah. Just like classic Mario skips. So Viper is actually going to do a small trick here where you can jump and spin and you will end up on the pillar afterwards. I actually don't know exactly how it works, but it's...
I think
really
since Mario's jumping backwards, it kind of pushes him into the pillar.
Yeah.
And because the game thinks you're just locked onto the pillar, it pushes you on there. So, as you can see, they actually are using... Well, not using them. They have star bits in this level, because in a few planets they're going to encounter Captain Toad. And if you shoot him with a few star bits and run away, then you'll be able to skip his text.
Yeah, so... Oh, we didn't even explain landing cancels, because they're doing that the whole run, too. Every single time you land from a launch star, pretty much, you're going to want to press up on the D-pad and then down on the D-pad, or A, however you want to cancel going into first person. When you do that, it cancels the landing animation that Mario has. And since there's a ton of launch stars in the whole game, it saves a lot of time. But there, you just go into first person and don't go back out so you can shoot at Captain Toad, so you skip the text box. So you see Viper over here is running into the boss's leg. He got bad RNG, it didn't jump over him, so he's just going to have to wait for the boss to finish its attacks, and then he can attack it again. All in all, a pretty straightforward level.
It's basically Mega Leg's little brother from the first game.
Yeah, not nearly as threatening. The next level, are they doing Fluffy Bluff 1 next, or Secret? I don't know if it's different in this route.
They're doing right side down.
Oh, right side down. You are correct. I got mixed up on where the locations are. Right side down is a galaxy that uses... yeah, it's in like 1 or 2 galaxies where it has red and blue backgrounds with arrows, and depending on the arrows, that's where you stand, pretty much. The direction the gravity is. There's a couple of small skips you can do underneath some boxes that look really scary. I don't know if these runners do them or not. They save like a few seconds, but if you fail it, you usually get crushed by a box and die, which sucks.
Claire finishing up her dig-a-leg fight here while Viper and Cantaloupe are just hanging out on Starship Mario again.
If there's any questions that people have in chat, we're not going to be looking at it a ton, but if we see a question that we feel like is good to answer, we will answer. Not anything inappropriate, of course. So, are there any other skips that we forgot about in Right Side Down? Any other tricks?
Mainly just exploiting the gravity in the box tricks, really.
Yeah.
That's it.
There's a small skip at the end where you triple jump onto the... Like, you're in a 3D section for a small portion of the level, and because of that, you jump up onto, like, the wall on the outside and just go straight to the star, but that's a developer-intended kind of thing. You're supposed to be able to get up there, I think, because there's one-ups up there, so they're just rewarding clever play.
As you can see, they're not switching the gravity whatsoever. They're just going as it is because it's better to be right side up than upside down, obviously.
So I see he does Japanese text to make it faster. We kind of talked about this earlier, but I don't know if we actually said... it probably is a little bit faster, but it's like at most 3 seconds maybe.
Viper's not doing the first box skip. I think he does the second one. And Cantaloupe and Claire
Oh,
both.
he got crushed.
Oh.
Yeah, you have to be really quick trying to skip some of those boxes. But yeah, the text moves so fast in this game that it doesn't really matter which version of the game you're playing on. Japanese or English. Looks like Cantaloupe's able to make it through the box. And Viper's just going to break the box this time, which is fair. So Cantaloupe's going to be doing the triple jump up here, and he's just going to skip all these thwomps and get right to the star. And then the next level they do is the secret level of Right Side Down. They go in a pipe at the very beginning, and if you play the game casually, you may remember the Fireball crate minigames. You probably remember the one in Right Side... What? I don't even remember the names. Upside Dizzy. Yeah, I don't remember the names of the galaxies in this game. You probably remember that one more. It's a bit harder, but of course, they know the exact strat they need to do to beat both of them pretty quickly.
Yeah, there's always been a pretty big debate whether these fire minigames or the trash minigames in Galaxy 1 are harder. I personally think these ones are harder.
don't even know which one I think's harder. The ones in Galaxy 1 are nice because they actually give you an indication of where you're supposed to throw the bombs. If you pick up on that, then they're not too bad.
Cantaloupe going into this pipe here. Normally you would need to change the gravity to get in there, but pipes don't really care about gravity.
Yeah, you can just touch them and they'll let you in.
I actually don't know what a great time is on this. It's probably like, I think the record's like 14 seconds left or something.
I think the average tends to be around like 11, 12, if you're really good, maybe 13.
Well, Cantaloupe got 11 and Viper got 10. Never mind, he got 8.
From what I remember, I usually get 11s on that, so it doesn't take too long. The second one's a bit tighter. I think on average you get stuff like 4 seconds, unless you're really fast, in which case I've seen like 7 or 8 before. So now they're going to Fluffy Bluff.
Yep.
There's 2 levels in Fluffy Bluff that we do. The first one has a really big skip, and the other is the secret, where you just get 100 coins, and then use the cloud power-up to get to the end of the level. Which I guess we can explain the cloud long jumps. Another trick with the
You mean the best part about this game?
Yeah, the cloud power-up is really cool. It has there's interesting stuff in Galaxy 1 and 2 with momentum. If you're on something that's moving and you jump, or backflip, long jump, any of that kind of stuff, you'll get a bit like more momentum, more height. And you can abuse that with the cloud by spinning with the cloud. You create a cloud under you and it kind of moves up as it kind of grows. And if you long jump or jump when it's doing that, you get a lot more height and momentum, so you'll see that throughout this level.
Claire actually ended up with 13 seconds left on that box minigame. That was pretty insane.
Looks like Cantaloupe's doing Fluffy Bluff 1 first. You can actually go up to that cloud and skip pretty much the entire level with that. So this is one of the few levels in the game where we actually skipped the Comet Medal, because the amount of time it takes to get the Comet Medal and complete the entire level is just not worth it compared to just skipping.
Unfortunately, in 242, you need every Comet Medal, so you need to do this level the normal way.
But then you get to do Green Star 3 and you get to do the skip anyways.
Yeah.
So Viper's doing the secret first. Basically, all you need to do in the secret is go into the pipe that he was in and then get all these coins up here, and you'll get 100. And you'll go on to the next section, which has all sorts of like spinning stuff, things trying to get in the way. But if you just use clouds the whole way up, you can just avoid all of them.
It definitely seems like one of those sections that I think was intended to be like forced into 2D, kind of like Chomp Works 2, but
they just kind of made it in 3D and were like, if you want to, you can just do it in 3D.
So Claire's also doing the secret first.
You may have noticed sometimes when you get new power-ups, you get taken into the little room inside of the Starship, and Lubba talks to you. I don't think all of them are like this. Yeah, because clearly Cantaloupe had exited the room on his own, but sometimes we route it so that Lubba takes you in, and then an event plays that brings you up to like the top of the Starship. Like, I think when Luigi comes onto the Starship and talks to you, we do that after getting a new power-up, so we don't have to leave on our own.
Yeah, there are a lot of... Well, I think the most optimal route makes it so that a lot of the Lubba cutscenes end up just taking us back to the top. Originally, there were a lot that ended up leaving us, can't talk, at the bottom of the Starship, so it cut out a lot more movement with this new route, which was actually made like not too long ago, I think, probably like a month ago.
What level do they take out by putting in Honey Bloom?
I got no clue, trust me.
Yeah, so there's a new route. You do Honey Bloom 1 now in World 2. Definitely sounds like neither of us know what level gets taken out, so I'm sure we'll probably figure it out by the end of the run.
Yeah, it's very hard to keep up with routes in this game because everybody's doing their own thing, really.
Yeah.
For this game, more so than Galaxy 1, a lot more people work together on the route, but for Galaxy 1, it seems like a lot of people just come up with their own routes and they put them together to make one big, like, complete route.
It can also be easier to route in this game because you have a lot more control over when things happen and where you can go at any given time.
Supermassive 1, that was it.
That sounds about right.
It is a very long level.
It is.
Okay, so both Viper and Cantaloupe finished up Fluffy Bluff now.
They're about to be going to what many would consider the worst boss in the game, except for the fact that he appears later and he's also on fire. That's the worst boss.
He's pretty bad.
He's pretty bad. It's Gobblegut. He's a giant dragon with 6 red spots, and you have to hit all of them. So when done correctly, the fight ends super fast. We'll see if the runners are actually able to get all the hits. Normally what you have to do, he's going to try to dive into the ground when he tries to attack you, and when the red part of him gets stuck, you have a chance to hit the sections, and once you hit all 6 sections, you win. But you can long jump and backflip and stuff and try to hit the parts before he even dives into the ground. And if you're precise enough, then you can hit all of them like that. So we'll see how it goes. Also here, you skip the kind of second area that you can see, the lava area up there, by just backflipping off of the swamp and long jumping to the boss planet. Nothing
More
crazy
momentum conservation right there.
Yeah, and there's just a really big gravity field on this planet, so you just go right in. Looks like Viper died.
He died. No. If you do really fast movement here, it's pretty easy to die because all the long jumps are onto like really small platforms.
So if you're watching Cantaloupe, the first hit of Gobblegut, I mean, the first 3 just happen right away. You long jump forward, hit 1, backflip twice to hit the other 2. So hopefully he gets it.
Claire actually not too far behind either of them. It definitely seems like this race is more between these two guys, but Claire can easily catch up because she's known for clutching out pretty big PBs.
Cantaloupe able to get the first 3 hits. For the next part, you actually want to run down and turn around at a certain spot so that all the red parts line up. Backflip over the head. Oh, he got hit by Gobblegut's head with the last one remaining. So Cantaloupe was close, but stuff like that can happen where you'll just get caught on Gobblegut's body and get hit.
Oh boy, he got hit again. And unfortunately, even if Gobblegut's on like the brink of diving into the ground, if he hits you, he has to restart his entire cycle again before he goes into the ground.
So Cantaloupe was able to pull one out towards the end there. That fight, honestly, World 1 has just a couple of levels that are big run killers. Yoshi Star 1, and I think this one being some of the big ones. Gobblegut really sucks. The best part about Gobblegut, though, is actually you get to fight him again later in the run. And if you're doing 120 or 242, you get to fight the version of him that's on fire. Which, that's always a great time.
Yeah. Definitely not the worst boss in video game history. Claire on pretty good. Oh my god. That Gobblegut was sick.
Yeah. So a fast Gobblegut, I know on the Comet that you fight him again in, it's a speedrun Comet. I think it's like around 10 seconds pass in game if you do a perfect Gobblegut, something like that. So it can be really quick. It's pretty much the most annoying boss in the game. I think all the other ones are easier.
Well, 3 of them are Bowser, so.
Yeah.
Alright, so World 2. The first level of World 2 is a very, very welcoming introduction because everyone knows this song that's about to come up.
Yeah, Puzzle Plank 1 is... I think it's a very fun level. It's really
the movement is so clean all the way through.
Yeah. There's nothing really crazy in Puzzle Plank 1 either. Just quick movement and then a mini-boss at the end.
Definitely not a boss ripped straight from the first game.
There's a couple
Galaxy
of
2
bosses
does that
like
a
that.
lot.
There's actually an entire galaxy in it, in the post-game world. Or it's literally just Galaxy 1 bosses. The only trick I can really think of in this level is on the second planet, instead of going around to the other side and knocking up some pillars to get into the launch star, you can actually just backflip into the launch star, which you'll see really quickly with Cantaloupe here. It's pretty low on the ground. And then on the next planet after this, there's a part where the saws kind of cut down that wall there and make a bridge. If you time your triple jump right, you can just jump up over the wall. You'll see here, it's pretty self-explanatory. And from here, you just kind of long jump to the end of the level. That's pretty much it.
Alright, just more long jumps here. If you get... Well, if those blue guys latch onto your head, you gotta make sure you get them off immediately, because you walk incredibly slow. As you saw by Viper! Oh my god.
Fell off.
Jeez.
So this last planet has some weird gravity, and sometimes, like, you can just see Cantaloupe. Got it. Sometimes, when you ground pound, it knocks the piece down twice. Sometimes it does it once.
Yeah, the double is pretty rare, but when it happens, it's very nice.
And then you just fight this mini boss, you just long jump onto it, ground pound twice, and then you get the star. And then next is Hightail Falls, which our favorite friend Yoshi comes back for. There is a flutter in this one.
My favorite Yoshi level in the game, personally.
Yeah. There is an infinite flutter in this level as well. It's not nearly as big as the other ones. And it happens towards the end. And it's only faster because we have to get the Comet Level. But there's some fast Yoshi movement here because he gets to use one of the Yoshi power-ups in the game, which is the Dash Pepper. And if you eat it, you go very, very fast.
You go fast? Wow.
I know.
That's crazy.
In a speedrun? Going fast? Galaxy 2?
It's like this game was made for speedrunning. Just like every other game in the 21st century.
They should have made every level have a Dash Yoshi in it.
So right here, Lubba, for some reason, thinks it was important to tell you about the big world map, even though you could see it yourself.
Yeah. And he does it after you play the first level of World 2, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, but it's alright. I actually did see Claire do something that maybe we could explain. It's maybe not something you'd notice unless you watch a lot of runs. So when you long jump, you can't normally do a ground pound until after you spin, but if you spin and ground pound at the same time, you will do a normal ground pound. And that's frame perfect. It's just a frame perfect ground pound. It can be quicker in some spots. If you fail it, you usually end up doing like a spin or a spin pound. It's not too much slower.
Cantaloupe, eat the first.
Yeah, so this whole thing is, this whole level, not too difficult. You kind of just run to the end with Yoshi until the infinite flutter at the end. And then there's a cool looking thing at the very end. So you want to go on the left here, that you saw Cantaloupe just do and Viper about to do, so you can grab the second Dash Pepper so you can hold on to it on this next planet. If you go to the right, it's like, you don't lose a ton of time, you usually just flutter, but it's better to get the Dash Pepper. So over here, Cantaloupe... Whoa,
what is he doing?
I've never seen this flutter.
Wow,
I've not seen that before. Alright, I'll admit,
okay. I thought he was,
cool.
like, improvising or something.
Viper is doing what I normally do, where you just kind of flutter over here.
Yeah, he's doing what I think everybody normally does.
Oh, Cantaloupe's doing the cool thing. There you go. If you launch off Yoshi at that angle, you can fly right into the star.
Yeet.
I don't know what Cantaloupe was doing. I want to look back at that.
Viper,
That was really cool.
So if you bonk while running up a wall, Yoshi just gets put back into his normal state, where he's right side up, so you can just flutter over here.
Cantaloupe says, the flutter is JDA's strat. He's hiding strats from us.
God. Imagine somebody doing that. Never heard of that before.
You will see later in the run, we do come back to this level in the Comet. The only real difference is it's timed and there's some meteors falling. It's actually not faster to do the infinite flutter if you're not getting the Comet Medal. You actually take the launch star normally, and there's a trick you can do with Yoshi that we can explain later.
Missed it.
Oh. It's easy to get up to that star even without Yoshi. You can just backflip or triple jump, and you'll be able to make it up. This level is super exciting.
Oh yeah, this level's hype.
Yeah. Also known as the Resident Sleeper level.
That's reserved for World 6, actually.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of those there. But this level, we do the normal level and the secret. You get 15 coins in the first level, so you can activate the Hungry Luma. And then you just go into the Hungry Luma in the second, or in the secret. Because if you activate a Hungry Luma, it stays fed, even if you go to a different level. So this level is really straightforward. You just go into this area, turn the water to ice, and then go get the star after getting the Comet Medal. At least we don't do Cosmic Cove 2 in any percent. That level takes forever.
Oh yeah.
That's a real Resident Sleeper. So
and we do it twice in Green Stars. It's great.
Oh yeah, indeed. So Cantaloupe just long jumps down to the Luma, and he's gonna open up the new planet, but not go to it, because he's in charge. So then when he just goes there in the next level, he'll be able to go right into the launch star.
Yeah, the reason they spawn launch stars in certain levels and then go to them later is because it's not as bad as Galaxy 1, but in this game, launch stars still take a bit before you can actually jump in them and launch. So if you go in there in a later level, then you can just hop right in there.
It's definitely way worse in Galaxy 1. In this game, it's probably less than half a second, but in Galaxy 1, I want to say it's upwards of like a second it takes for a launch star to actually be
They take a while. So now we got everybody's favorite Mario gimmick, and NPC. Bunnies.
You might remember, there's bunnies in Mario 64, and they're also in Galaxy 1, and Odyssey, actually.
Yeah.
In this game, they're actually not too bad. Is this the only bunny in the game?
The only bunny that you have to catch.
Yeah.
Flip Flop has some bunnies, but...
Yeah, so this is the only bunny in the whole game that you have to catch. Unlike Galaxy 1, where you have to, like, try to aim your starbits at it to knock it over and hopefully catch up. This one's actually really easy. It stands still, and then you shoot starbits at it, and then, I don't know why, but it just starts to run backwards for a moment, and it's pretty easy.
Oh, Cantaloupe entered Cosmic Cove 2.
That's a common mistake you can make. If you're mashing A, which is what most runners do when they're going into a galaxy, it selects the newest level that you haven't completed. But for Cosmic Cove 1, you actually want to go back into the secret.
And in Cosmic Cove 2, the entire level is frozen, so you can't go back to the star.
Yeah. So we talked earlier about how you don't usually want to grab starbits, but as I just explained, you do want to have starbits for this bunny, but they should be able to shoot it away after they catch the bunny before they grab the star.
Yes.
So you'll see Viper doing that in just a moment.
So the lead has now changed like 3 different times in the past 40 minutes.
So just shoots the bunny and then catches it. It's real nice and simple. Nothing like Galaxy 1 has. Oh, we forgot to mention this. If you've seen Galaxy 1 runs and seen the water levels, you may remember that instead of taking shells, you would usually just keep spinning over and over. There was also a glitch called surface swimming, which let you spin on the surface and move even faster. They patched it out in this game. They made it so you can't spin over and over underwater. There's a cooldown underwater, just like there is above water. So it's faster to take the shell in this game.
A lot of people have wondered if it was intended in Galaxy 1 to keep on swimming, or if it truly was like a mistake and they patched it in this game.
Yeah. So see Viper withdrawing Starbits.
Oh yeah, here's our boy.
You take about 4,600 Starbits, and that's usually enough. So they're heading over to Honeybloom now, which is the first Hungry Luma level that they do after getting the Starbits. Honeybloom Secret takes like 20 seconds probably.
It's
Honeybloom
the shortest star in the game that isn't a green star.
Looks like Claire's doing a different route. She's going straight to Boulder Bowl, so we get to see a couple different levels at any given time now. Boulder Bowl also has a big skip that you get to do, which you also get punished hard for if you fail.
It's amazing.
You'll see it up here after she gets the Comet Medal, but you skip the bridge, or no, you don't. You don't skip the bridge. Scratch that. You knock over the bridge, and then the ramp to the right there, you long jump off of that to the left with the rock suit and try to time a spin so that you get pulled into the gravity field of a later planet. If you time it wrong, you die, and you have to start over and get the Comet Medal again. So you lose a lot of time if you fail.
Yeah.
So
The reason it's so hard with Rock Mario and so easy as regular Mario is because in the Rock form, when you spin, it turns you into Rock Mario and you just get sent straight down and you drop
you lose
like
all
a rock.
So she gets it. That's very good.
Nice.
And she's just gonna fight the boss. You can see Viper and Cantaloupe are doing the secret level. There's nothing special about it. You just long jump up to the star and get it. So over here, Claire's gonna be fighting Sonic the Hedgehog.
Dang it, you stole it from me.
This guy just rolls around and you just have to hit him on his butt, except it's like a really big hitbox. You can kind of hit it from the side and it works too. And we kind of manipulate it. We stop his rock attacks, or his rolling attacks and him turning around from happening by just spinning away from him. Something you can do in this game that a lot of casual players might not have realized is you can actually stop yourself from rolling while you're Rock Mario. If you're rolling and you jump and press Z, you pop out of the rock. So you can do that here to try to.
And that helps a lot on the Comet.
It does.
So Viper and Cantaloupe are both doing Honeybloom 1, which was previously not in the route, but there was people kept on doing ILs of it and found out that it is faster if you do it without the beach room.
Which, this doesn't look fun to me, I'll be honest.
It's not. I've done it before in 242, and it sucks.
Yeah, but looks like Viper is able to get through that part. Bee Mushroom is back from Galaxy 1, and
it's just as underwhelming.
Yeah, it's the same thing. You get really slow flight and are able to touch other things that normal Mario can't. It's nothing crazy. Cloud Mario is way cooler.
Cloud Mario is probably the best power-up in the entire Mario franchise.
Yeah. So Viper gets hit there on purpose, so he loses B and is able to go through this without the B power-up.
Yeah, the reason he wants to lose it is because when you're B Mario, when you jump off poles, for some reason you don't get any height.
When you jump in general and fly with B Mario, you get no height. And you can also not backflip or long jump with B Mario. So he's just very slow.
Cantaloupe not using the B shroom at all for this part.
So it looks like Claire's unlocking Honeybloom now. I don't know if Claire is doing the Honeybloom 1 route or not.
I don't think she is, because she went to Boulder Bowl 1 first.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because the route I use goes to Boulder Bowl first.
Viper keeping his lead here. Cantaloupe and Claire still in second and third. Despite the routes, nothing has really changed for the race itself, but still pretty close so far, despite only being 45 minutes in. And now we got our first Bowser level coming up. Lava
Actually,
layer.
Viper and Cantaloupe still have to do Boulder Bowl.
Never mind.
Not quite. We'll see Abyss doing it if she doesn't do Honey Bloom 1.
Oh wait, no, they
So-
are going to Bowser. I was right.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Well,
They probably do Boulder Bowl in World 3 or World 5.
Yeah. So this first Bowser level, there's some lava boost skips that you get to do.
Lava boosts in a Bowser level? What?
Crazy.
That's
so
basically the
you-
whole gimmick of these levels, is bouncing off the lava and breaking the level.
There's some really good lava boosts later in the run that I know
Oh, yeah.
Omni loves. But here it's kind of just skipping small sections. We'll explain it as they go, as Viper's going here. You don't have to kill the Magic Koopa like you normally do. It would unlock a Sling Star or something, but you can just long jump to these planets. You're going to want to grab the Life Stream here for a lava boost. Life Stream just gives you 3 extra hits.
Very useful. And it does
takes
return
damage
in
for
Odyssey
their
as in the form of a heart, but it's not exactly good.
Yeah.
Cantaloupe got hit by the fire, but still made the skip.
So Viper, instead of going forward and going over to the left, he's just going to lava boost over here.
Now he's gonna change his camera here because in this game, if something's off screen, it doesn't move, and that applies to these womps here. Doing a buffered triple jump off the lava there, that's actually pretty hard to do.
Yeah, you can buffer a triple jump through the lava and get the Comet Medal quicker. Over here, there's another trick that you get to do. Instead of going forward to the left like you normally would and going on snake blocks, you actually get to long jump off of this and bounce on some Bowser statues. Nothing too complicated. You're just kind of skipping the whole
Yeah,
thing.
the reason this works is because if you hit something while Mario's bouncing off lava and then you hit lava again, if you already bounced enough times to where Mario can start jumping again, you can just start jumping as soon as you touch the surface again because you've already used all your bounces.
Yeah, so all 3 Bowser fights, just like Mario 64, are like fundamentally the same. There's some small changes with each one. A few different strats, a few changes in moves. But overall, they're all pretty much the same. And the first fight, it doesn't really have anything. He drops meteors down, and then when he punches the ground, you knock the meteors back at him. So there's really nothing crazy here. In some of the other ones, there's some cycle skips you can do, but we can explain that when we get there. So Bowser has... I'm trying to think like how many moves. It's like 3. He yells, brings the meteors down, and then you punch it.
I wish I could scream and then just bring meteors down.
It's pretty powerful, admittedly.
Why doesn't Bowser just get this big in every game?
Why doesn't he just like keep punching Mario? Or just like keep screaming for
just
like a
keep
couple
screaming
minutes?
until the whole battlefield is just meteors and he can't
Mario
walk.
can't avoid it forever.
Then again,
so-
it's Mario and he doesn't get tired ever unless he's playing a sports game.
Yeah. So Bowser's just blowing fire here. Doesn't really do anything. These moves get a bit scarier, and there's actually risk of getting hit later in the game. You hit him 4 times instead of 3 because you wanted to switch things up, I guess. Luckily, the Bowser Jr. fights are all different, even though one of them is Gobblegut.
Yeah, it's not really a Bowser Jr. fight, but I guess he controls him or something.
The other 2 Bowser Jr. fights are cooler. The third one can be frustrating, and you'll see that when we get to World 5. But it's a cool fight, casually, at least.
Definitely.
So we got a nice
Catching up Bowser.
long cutscene here, where you get a Grand Star and then go back to the Starship, unlock a new world. Takes a while. So this is where we'd say you can read donations if we were at actual GDQ.
All right. Well, we have a $500. Oh no. But no. Real quick, I just wanted to kind of let everybody know that this is, of course, the month of June, and of course, with SGDQ coming up, we will be raising money for Doctors Without Borders. So I want to let everybody know that during the entire month of June, if you do sub to us or you cheer, those will be going straight to Doctors Without Borders. So you don't have to wait until SGDQ starts. You can go ahead and sub or cheer right now and support the cause.
Support charity. I think Viper also has a donation incentive during GDQ for Perfect Run. I think. I could be wrong.
Yeah, he does.
But Perfect Run is really cool, so definitely put it towards that so you can see Perfect Run. That's the last level in the game, and it's the signature hard level that they've been putting in the newer games.
And it's probably the hardest of the hard levels in Mario games, I'd like to say.
I've heard that the one in 3D World's pretty hard. I never did beat that, but
well, I mean that's 3D World. That game sucks. Anyways, World 3.
Okay. So we get to do another level here with Cloud Power Up, unless he goes to Tall Trunk first in the new route. Okay, he doesn't. So Cloud Power Up's back. You're just gonna see some more of cloud boosting and long jumping with clouds to skip some areas. It's really clear which areas you're skipping in this level.
Oh yeah. And there is actually a little glitch you can do. It doesn't really change anything about the level. If you long jump into a certain area, you can do it accidentally and it won't lose any time. You can actually trigger the music from the secret area by taking a launch star. Well, you don't take the launch star in this level, but if you did take it, you would go to a secret area by paying Hungry Luma, and then that music would start playing. But if you long jump into a certain spot, the music will play anyway.
I think it can't happen in this level because the planet is not unlocked yet. But in Green Stars,
yeah.
It can, because you go this way to get a green star. So, yeah, very clear which areas Viper is skipping. There's normally a spot where you have to climb a cloud up a little wind gust, but you can just skip all that. Here, there's some similar stuff, just some wind gusts and moving with the cloud. Here, he's going to do a cloud momentum jump into another cloud flower, so he gets 3 of them, and he's just going to skip a little wall jumping section here. You can skip. We'll see if he
Early cycle? Pog?
As you get the early cycle, you get the Comet Medal, and it's tight.
Oh, this is the Pog. Pog, that's Pog.
Oh, nice. Alright, so yeah, so you can skip that. It can be kind of tight, depending on your timing, but you can go right in the middle there.
Luckily, if you spin, you can actually spin again if you fall through a cloud flower, because I guess the game doesn't know if you already spun.
I don't know. It might have just been the developers giving you leeway. Like you did the work. You made it to the cloud flower. You might as well be able to spin again.
Claire still not very far behind, despite.
This is a pretty close race.
I mean, it's kind of hard to tell the difference between at least these 2 runners and Claire because they did different routes, but overall it's still pretty close. Considering Claire did, I think, a shorter level. Pretty sure Boulder Bowl 1 is shorter.
I saw someone in chat ask a question. We answered it earlier, but just for the new people coming in, you get Comet Medals because they unlock Comets, which are really quick levels that start showing up as the run progresses. And they're usually barely out of the way of the main level.
Oh, Claire Bong.
So Viper's going over to Freezy Flake. I'm pretty sure he's going to do the secret level first, which is just another little mini game where you are skating around. This is the second time the Chimp shows up, I think. Chimp is
the best character in this game.
He's got cool glasses.
And he's a chimp, so he's legendary.
So here you basically just have to get 500 points. There's another one later on in Shiverburn where you get 600 points. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's basically the same thing. But
it's the exact same thing. There's no differences.
So, nothing too exciting here. There's a little bit of tight movement in Freezy Flake 1 with the Fire Flower, but nothing too crazy.
It's a pretty cool level, if I do say so myself.
Hey, I got it. I get it.
Because there's like snow in the level. It's funny. 800. What?
Viper absolutely destroying my highest score of like
what?
700.
860.
860 is really impressive.
As Mario? That's possible. Yeah. If he got that gold, that would have been 910. As Mario.
That's pretty wild.
Cantaloupe actually spent a while grinding this level. And I think he got either very close or above 1,000 points. But that was as Luigi, who I think skates faster.
Probably skates faster.
See, Viper was nervous before, today's broadcast, but he's got the important things down, right? The minigame action.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other levels don't matter. It's all about the minigames.
Yeah, Cantaloupe got 1,170 on this minigame once.
So, Freezy Flake won.
Cantaloupe?
Oh. What's going on there?
Is he using 2P? Oh no, his disc isn't working.
Hopefully he fixes this.
I've had this happen with my Sunshine disc.
I mean, if he'll be able to open it up. This game autosaves.
Alright,
it's good. Cool. We're good. No problem.
Luckily, if a disc has a reading issue, once you put it back in, it just resumes the game. It doesn't, like, shut the game down and you have to reset.
So what Viper's doing here is he's going to try to hold on to this Fire Flower.
Claire...
There's a clip you can do there that saves, like, barely any time.
It does help a lot with the early cycle, though.
Yeah, but you want to basically try to get to that snow block with the Fire Flower. It ran out, like, right as he got there. So it's pretty tight timing. You want to do that so you can get the Comet Medal and then have the whole Fire Flower for this section, because instead of like rolling the snow blocks to get to the Bowser statue, you just lava boost. If you aren't able to get the Comet Medal before you activate your next Fire Flower, you don't really have enough time to also break the Bowser statue, and then you have to go get a Fire Flower somewhere else. So a little bit tight timing, but it's not too bad. And now we get to do Haunty Halls, correct? Which is... There's another Infinite Flutter that skips the entire last part of the level. And we'll get there when we get there.
Oh yeah, so that was Luigi. He's somewhat important.
Oh yeah, so... Luigi shows up in some levels, like you'll see him at the very beginning of Haunty Halls 1. If you talk to him, you get to play as him, but even though he moves faster, talking to him and switching to him just takes too much time, so we don't switch to him throughout any percent. In 120 and 242, he gets unlocked after you beat the game permanently, so you can just switch to him and then stay as him for the rest of the game.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not like Galaxy 1, where you can just do a whole run as him, because... he gets unlocked in the same file.
Yeah. So, one of the upsides of 120 and 242, you get to play as the better character.
But for some reason, like, conveniently, this game was actually built more around Mario's physics. Like, a lot of the levels are definitely better to play as Mario.
Yeah, in Galaxy 1, especially speedrunning, playing as Mario feels... a lot more precise, more difficult, but this game, playing as Mario, feels a lot better. So there's some cycles that the players have to follow here, and sometimes they just kind of have to wait. There's nothing they can really do. There's another Yoshi power-up. You'll see it again later in the run, and you'll actually like use it. It's the bulb mushroom. Not mushroom.
Viper!
Oh, Viper.
No!
There.
Cantaloupe?
Yeah,
no, Viper has a checkpoint.
So, there's the Bulb Berry, which, for a while, Yoshi will light up invisible kind of platforms below him, but in this last section, we just get to flutter the whole time, so we won't really see it happen. Actually, you might grab it. You can grab it if you want.
I always grab it, because Yellow Yoshi looks better.
Yeah, he's cool looking.
And also, if you mess up the flutter, you can land on the invisible ground, so you can save yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually the only power-up for Yoshi that lets you still run around as Yoshi normally, because the Dash and Blimp fruits completely change Yoshi, whereas this one, it only changes what he looks like.
Yeah, so you can see it in action. He's just fluttering to the end and skipping all this. I'm grabbing the star. Can you beat every Blimp or Bulbberry Yoshi level without the Bulbberry?
I'm sure you can beat Sweet Mystery Comet without it, but
It would just suck.
a while.
Yeah. You'll get to see the power-up used more later in Sweet Mystery.
Also, the lead just changed again. Cantaloupe is barely ahead, and Claire's about half a Haunty Halls behind.
So I think they go to Cloudy Court again. And do the Comet Level.
Oh yeah, this is actually the first Comet in the game.
Yeah, it's the first one unlocked, right?
Yeah. So, in Galaxy 1, since they're going to Cloudy Court first, we can kind of talk about this type of Comet.
Never mind.
Never mind, they're going to Haunty Halls again, okay.
We don't know the route.
I'm so used to 242, where
Usually
you do all this stuff in post-game.
Even in the old Any% route, Haunty Halls 2 was done later.
Yeah, when they go to Cloudy Court, the comet they're gonna do there is a cosmic clone comet. And basically it's just a bunch of small shadow copies of you chasing you around, and they actually mimic your every move. So if you jump, they jump, and if you long jump and ground pound, then they long jump and ground pound. It's a really cool concept, but it gets annoying really fast.
And if you keep moving like you do in a speedrun, they usually don't cause you too much problems.
Unless you're in Chompworks.
Yeah. So, Haunty Halls 2 is it's basically just a bunch of long jumps. There's no skips, nothing crazy, you just keep going.
This level represents what everybody who has never watched a Galaxy run thinks a Galaxy run is.
Which, in their defense, they're not too far.
It sort of is, yeah.
Yeah, you can fall through on the left there. There won't be enough floor, so it looks like Viper fell through. So Claire's doing the Comet level we were just describing. All you have to do, the first section you get some star chips, which spawns a launch star, and then you basically just keep going till the end of the level. There's a lot of very straightforward levels in this game, but there's a couple of pretty hard skips
Cantaloupe's disc, again.
Uh-oh.
This isn't good.
It's Japanese fault. You're not allowed to use the Japanese disc.
So we did have a question in chat. I know we covered it earlier, but if you want to go over the differences between the two versions, like.
It's between Japanese and English. The difference is they obviously have different text. Japanese is probably a little faster, but overall there's not really too big of a difference because the text scrolls so much faster in this game than it does in Galaxy 1 that your language doesn't really matter. So Cantaloupe might be saving like 3 or 4 seconds over the other runners, but it's nothing too big.
Cantaloupe says he needs a new disc. I don't think he does. I think this is fine.
I think this is going great.
Wow.
So now they're spawning, or feeding, the next Hungry Luma. This unlocks Beat Block, which is a pretty cool level. It has, like, to the beat, the blocks go away and then come back. You can see it there in the Galaxy Preview. It's pretty easy to time in the normal level, but in the Comet, it goes way faster.
Yeah, the comment for this level is it's probably one of the hardest levels in the game if you are trying to do it super optimal.
But they do give you Yoshi.
Oh yeah, you get Yoshi in the Comet. But in the normal level, they actually switch to the beat. But in the Comet, they just go like they go super fast. It's double time. But it's actually not double time like the level implies. It's like 4 times as fast.
Yeah. It's still to the beat, but it's just way quicker. This last little section is a little Silver Stars area. Abyss is on Taltron because of a different route. I can't really think of anything this level?
At the start of the level, you need Yoshi to get up that tree, but you actually don't need him because if you just time a bunch of jumps, you can. Cantaloupe died. Oh my god.
You can just get up the tree if you time your jumps well. This is the first level with Blimp Yoshi.
Oh, we missed. This is why Tall Trunk's bad.
Yeah. But Blimp Yoshi, it just makes you fly. Nothing too crazy. This section
the blimp. Never mind. Okay.
Just a Starship section, and then the last area you can't really get up. I mean, theoretically you probably could get up with just infinite fluttering, but that's just way too slow. So you're just gonna use the blimp mushroom and get all the way up, or blimp berry, not mushroom.
Yeah, unfortunately, infinite flutter is not always the faster option.
Yeah, moving upwards with an infinite flutter is pretty slow.
So now Viper on Tall Trunk 1 as Cantaloupe finishes beat block, and Claire is finishing Tall Trunk 1. So now
kind of all over the
it's
place.
really hard to tell how far apart these runners are.
You can
because
see Viper
the routes
doing
just got way too different.
You can see Viper doing the jumps up the tree that we were talking about earlier. They're not too difficult. If you go at a wall at an angle and jump off of it with a wall jump, you kind of like, you keep going at the angle. Like if you're approaching it from the left and then you wall jump, you'll go to the right. So you can use that to your advantage there. So honestly, I'm not sure which levels everyone's going to next.
Yeah, this is definitely the part
too.
where the route gets confusing.
Yeah, Claire's going to Hightail too, so we've seen that one already. And before they finish World 3, they're probably taking a trip back to World 1.
Yeah, just to clean up some comets in the first 2 levels of the game.
And doing a Hungry Luma.
Sludgy's one of his favorite levels is that Hungry Luma. Cantaloupe fell down the tree.
Flip, swap. No. Is that the name of that level?
Yes,
Flip,
swap.
Okay, good. I like that.
You gotta learn your official
I know.
Nintendo branded names.
It's not my fault Galaxy one is better.
Probably just started the war in chat.
Yeah.
It's a pretty common debate, so
Everyone has their favorite.
Sunshine is my favorite Galaxy game.
There's a Sunshine level in this game. I'm not sure where Viper and Cantaloupe are going to be going next. Probably World 1, I'd imagine. Oh, the Comet. And then probably to World 1. Again, if there's any questions that you have about stuff that you've seen so far that we didn't explain, be sure to ask, because there's definitely a ton of small things that runners don't really think about in some of the games that don't get explained. And I'll try to look at chat and see if I can find some questions.
Yeah, a question I had actually. In terms of like routing for the games, is the differences between the 3 routes? I know we talked about the Honey Bloom difference, but like aside from that, is this just like a lot of times it's like stage preference as to where they go, or there's like a reason that they're like going to different stages?
I think so. Depending on where you are, and this goes for both Galaxy games, it can just come down to preference. I think, like in World 5, there's kind of like 3 or 4 galaxies that you complete there. And I think you could probably go to whichever one you want. I don't want to say for sure because I've never routed for this game. This game is a bit maybe more stricter depending on which Comet medals you've gotten already. But in Galaxy 1, it's definitely like that in a lot of places where you can just kind of do the levels in whatever order you want in certain spots.
Yeah, I don't really know the whole like technical parts of this game that well in terms of routing, so I'd rather not spout wrong information.
That's fine.
Yeah, and we did mention that routing is easier because of the world map, but there is one thing that is a little harder. Is in Galaxy 1, when you're in like each little dome or whatever, and you open up the little map that has all the galaxies, you can pick whatever galaxy you want there using the pointer, whereas in this game, you actually have to move there. So moving there takes longer, so in Galaxy 1, if you're in the kitchen or something and you want to play a level from Gold Leaf and then do Toy Time, you could do that if you wanted, and it wouldn't really lose time. You would just be doing the galaxies out of order, which might feel weird. But in this game, you'd actually have to move to a different galaxy, which would be slower. So Viper's doing Puzzle Plank Comet, which is just it's a purple coin level. You just grab all 100 coins while the cosmic clones chase you, and then the star appears.
So Claire actually died in Beat Block 1, and the reason that's bad is not only she died, obviously, so that's bad, but also in levels like this where cycles are very crucial. If you die, the cycles are thrown off a lot because it's as if you entered the level while skipping the intro cutscene, and if you do that, your cycles are different, and it sucks a lot if you die on a cycle-based level.
Indeed. So looks like Viper's heading to World 1. He's probably he's doing Sky Station Comet, Yoshi Star Comet, and Flip Swap. Sky Station Comet is basically just the first level of the game, just shortened down a lot. And there's also a timer running the whole time. It starts at 30 seconds, and there's clocks that you can pick up throughout the level that add 10 seconds to it.
And it probably has the scariest music in the whole game.
Yeah, and they spell speedrun with 2 words, so I mean, take that how you will.
Oh, oof.
And they didn't even fix their mistake with Mario Maker.
So, this section, I think there's also more of these like little stone blocks kind of rotating around, but they don't really get in the way. And the boss fight is exactly the same as before, except maybe like after each hit, you might want to grab a clock just so you don't run out of time. Because it's not possible to beat this level in 30 seconds.
I mean, no, it's definitely not.
So there was a question in chat earlier about like some of the movement differences between the Galaxy games.
In terms of super general movement, there's not too much different. Definitely the main difference is Yoshi, because he runs faster than both Mario and Luigi. So just on his own, he's faster, and that's pretty different because obviously Galaxy 1 doesn't have him. And also the flutters
are really fast.
And also a lot of the levels in this game are, I'd say a lot of them are a lot more vertical based than Galaxy 1. So a lot of them you're like climbing to the top of something before going into a launch star. So a lot of that revolves more around triple jumps than long jumps. But overall the movement between the two is definitely the same.
And as mentioned in water, there is a difference in water just because you can't spin forever underwater like you could in the first game, so you go slower in water. But it's the same engine, so it basically plays the same.
Yeah, Galaxy 2 was actually originally supposed to be DLC for the first game called Super Mario Galaxy More. And then they realized that they had so much to work with that they just turned it into a full game. And that's why a lot of the levels in Galaxy 2 look like they could be DLC, and that's because it was.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if like very many Wii games that actually got DLC.
I don't think did any.
Like any, yeah. Like I didn't even know that the Wii could do DLC until I heard that they were originally going to do that.
Maybe Just Dance 2020, the best Wii game of all time, will have DLC.
I hope so. So Viper's doing Yoshi Star Comet, which is basically you just run around with the Power Star. Or not the Power Star, the Star Power-Up. Power Stars, the collectible.
It's all the same. It's this time Mario's rainbow.
So he's very cool looking, and you just kill all the Spinies within the time limit.
Viper's in trouble here.
Running with Star Mario, I think is the fastest running speed in the game once you get to your top speed.
One thing that can go wrong in this star is if you kill a Spiny and then turn your camera before it actually disappears, it doesn't count towards your enemy counter. I've seen this happen to a lot of people before, and it's actually happened to me. If you kill the last Spiny, or just any Spiny, and then you end up killing the rest of them, you'll be stuck at 29 until you turn your camera in like a full 360, so that you end up getting all 30.
Yeah, because as mentioned earlier, if an enemy is off screen, they don't move, which apparently includes their dying animation. So Viper is feeding the Hungry Luma for flip swap. Wait.
Yeah, flip swap.
Yeah. Okay.
Come on, this is like your favorite level in the game.
I actually think this level is pretty cool. This is a level you spin and the platforms switch. It's kind of like Beat Block, but you're in control of which platforms are active.
We actually saw Cantaloupe do the camera thing.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, but you get to abuse momentum in this level again. As we mentioned, if you have momentum and you jump, you get to do some cool jumps, and the little platforms that like swivel move really fast when you spin. So you'll see Viper doing a really big long jump here in just a moment.
Never mind.
We'll try again. Don't worry. There it is.
And remember, kids, always think before you shake. Don't think
there's
that's
some
wrong.
These long jumps are admittedly not super difficult, but they're very cool looking and they go very far.
Doing this level as Luigi is a lot of fun.
Way better. Yeah, because you go really far.
Get that Comet Level right there. Jump right into it. So Claire and Viper are actually on the same level. Whoa! Okay, that was pretty cool.
I have not seen that last one before.
So what he did there was he shook and then jumped at the same time, so that he doesn't lose his speed after shaking, and then the platforms will just swap because he's still spun anyway. And then he can just do a momentum jump off that.
Yeah, you can cancel your spins with a jump. So if you wanted to, you could be like on a blue platform, spin before jumping, and then spin again, and you'll land back on a blue platform.
It's very useful in the purple coin star here, which thankfully we do not do in any percent.
Yeah. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, Viper should be going to Bowser 3 now, or Bowser Jr. 2. The third
yeah, he is.
boss, yeah. So Viper does do question block flutter, right?
Yep. And it's like a lot of people consider Yoshi Star 1 to be the hardest infinite flutter in the game. This level begs to differ.
Yeah, so you get to use Yoshi to skip a large portion of this level. You'll get to see Viper do it in a way where you basically just skip the whole thing. You can see everything that's being skipped. Normally you're basically going on moving platforms while things shoot at you, but he's just going to take Yoshi and fly to the end. Hopefully with little issue.
Yeah, there's two different ways you can do this. The very first flutter is the same no matter what you do to get to the next planet. Or the moon in this case.
Yeah. So if you're not doing question block flutter, you keep going past this moon. But if you do, you do this.
It's insane. This is actually ridiculous.
Yeah, and you land on the question block. I think the hard part is here, where you have to flutter.
Setting it up.
And you have to grab the Comet Metal too, which is the hard part.
It's a very precise angle. That's why you saw Viper go back to the block and have to set it up again. Because you have to be just low enough so that you go under this cage, and then make sure you're high enough as well to dismount Yoshi.
And you also have to be far enough right, which he got it, which is pretty good. I've never even done that trick, so much
I
more
have
impressive
before,
than
and it took me at like 7 tries or something.
Yeah. So we'll see when Cantaloupe and Claire do the level. We'll see if they do a slower version, but a version that is still faster than doing the level normally.
So this time
Also,
Bowser Jr. actually wants to fight you.
In a big
instead
robot.
of wimping out and sending a big old dragon to fight you. So we got this thing.
Yeah, so he shoots bullet bills at you, which you just use as Yoshi to shoot back. If you time things correctly, you can get multiple hits pretty quickly, like Viper did there. But overall, it's a pretty simple fight. He holds on to this bullet bill, so he can shoot it without hitting the arms. And then here he's going to lure 3 bullet bills towards him, use 2 of them on the back, and then save 1 for the next phase.
Yeah, sometimes the 3rd bullet bill doesn't stay with you, even...
Yeah, I've noticed that happens when you jump. Sometimes it'll just stay away. Looks like Cantaloupe's doing the question block flutter. He misses the
he missed.
coin. So he's going to be sent back to the end. This second phase that Viper just did, normally you have to wait for Bowser Jr. to like slam down and then kind of get stuck, and then you can aim at him better. But the hitbox on his head with the bullet bill is actually active the whole time, so you can just flutter up and hit it.
Oh my god, Claire and Cantaloupe right now.
Oh, they're both
Claire
doing
actually has
question
some
block.
extra stars, so I think she's ahead. Oh,
Yeah.
missed.
Oh.
Both going for it.
So Viper's going to be going on to World 4, which I mean, it's not horrible, but it's definitely one of the slower paced parts of the game, I think.
Cantaloupe gets the flutter. Claire gets the Comet Medal.
Claire is able to get the flutter as well.
Nice.
So that's very good.
3 for 3, even though Cantaloupe missed it once. Yeah, World 4. In concept, a lot of the levels here are really cool. Execution-wise, they're terrible. I don't like World 4 that much.
And I think some of the levels in World 4 suffer from the issue that I think a lot of levels suffer from. Is, as you said, very good in ideas. It's just when they made the additional levels, they were too similar to the other levels. Like Supermassive's levels, they're literally all the same thing. One is just Supermassive 1, which is an admittedly pretty cool level. Then the secret is just that, but in the end, instead of getting the star, you get a secret star on a different planet. And then the 3rd level is just a comet, which is just the first level again. But they don't do Supermassive in the new route. Claire might be doing it, but Viper and Cantaloupe don't. So Viper's feeding the Sweet Mystery Luma. This one is where Bullberry comes back, and there's some more infinite flutters here.
There was actually Podal, a very old, very good runner of this game for his time. He uploaded an IL like a few years ago this level. He did the entire thing in 1 flutter. It was ridiculous.
Oh, I forgot about that.
He just bounced off a bunch of different enemies and berries and cleared the whole thing in 1 swoop.
Yeah,
But
so
because we need the Comet Medal, we can't do that.
Yeah. So the first flutter just kind of takes you to the Comet Medal. And you actually need to get the Bullberry this time, because there's some things you need to land on, like the Comet Medal platform, that you can't land on unless you have the Bullberry. So Viper's going to get it as he passes by it here.
Oh boy.
He'll be able to save this.
This is why the Bulberry is amazing.
This is why I turn my camera before I do that flutter.
Yeah.
So he's going to grab the Comet Medal and then just kind of start fluttering. Normally you would take the Bullberry and walk on some invisible paths here. But you can just fly all over it because we don't care.
Yeah. Thankfully, you can actually see when the thing's about to run out because the platforms get smaller. It doesn't just have a timer that you have to rely on.
Instead of activating all the panels, Viper's also just going to flutter to this last area. An interesting thing is, if you flutter to this area, and then you jump off and fall down into the abyss, you actually don't die. You land on a giant invisible floor.
Yeah, and it's more
and you have to
punishing
long
than
jump.
dying.
Yeah, you have to long jump for like a little bit before you can reach a spot where you die. I'd imagine the reason that happens is you somehow like don't activate the death zones, like they just don't get spawned if you flutter over there. And there's, I don't know, some intern at Nintendo put an invisible floor down there. So that's fun. But at least Yoshi doesn't die.
And if you guys want to see a perfect example of skips in Galaxy, this level's perfect.
Oh yeah, this is a pretty cool level. Yeah, so first you skip this first planet that you're seeing in Viper's level preview by long jumping to the next planet. And then you skip, I don't know how many planets you skip after that.
A lot. This level, when done perfectly, probably saves over 2 minutes on the intended path.
Yeah, so he's gonna go up onto this wall and long jump over to the Comet Metal because he needs that. And he's also gonna be conveniently in a spot where he can just long jump to this next section, which will automatically change his gravity. So he already skipped some parts of this planet too, but he's also just gonna climb up here and backflip and go straight to the boss planet.
Yeah, luckily if you don't take that launch star and you do the skip instead, the chain chomps that normally roll here don't show up because they don't know that you're here.
Yeah. So there's like 3 or 4 other planets that get skipped. So if you really want to see exactly what's skipped, you can watch maybe a playthrough or whatever.
Come watch a Let's Play.
Yeah. Even in like Green Stars, when you have to go over there, you're still skipping a lot of planets. I don't even know the intended way of doing this level, if I'm being honest.
So that was probably the easiest boss in the game that Viper just beat.
Yeah, normally it like runs around and stuff, but in that spot, you can actually just hit its head, which also has a hitbox. You don't actually have to hit it on its stomach, like the game tries to make you think.
A lot of enemies in this game that have big, like, symbols on their bodies that symbolize you need the ground pound here. You can just ground pound anywhere you want. Alright, so Cantaloupe and Claire both finished up Sweet Mystery. About 1 full star behind Viper. So still pretty close.
So Viper's going to be doing not Sweet Mystery 2, Flipsville 2, unless he goes to Sweet Mystery Comet first, which he might.
He has to do Flipsville 2 first because he needs to spawn the comet.
Right. So he's going to go to Flipsville 2, which is just a Silver Star section with some cycles that they're not really hard cycles. They're just kind of obnoxious. You have to wait.
Obnoxious? 101?
So normally you'd be ground pounding on the little gates again in this level, but you can actually just long jump right to the launch star from the very beginning. And then that planet there that you're seeing in the preview, you'd have to use the drill power-up to drill through everything. But they made it so you can actually just wall jump on those walls.
Yeah, Nintendo really did not try with this level.
Yeah.
At least this first planet.
Some walls cannot be wall jumped off of in these games, but these ones can.
And here's another big planet that you can skip.
So there you go. Now you're just right in here. And the path for this section is you go to the right, then you go up 1, then you go to the left, and you go up, and then right, and then you go back to the left all the way down, and then go to the middle. I mean, you'll see it.
I'm sure everyone remembers that, Sludgy. It's okay.
I know. But these cycles are not really that difficult to make. And if you start drilling in a certain direction, Mario will keep going that direction even if the cycle changes. So there's some leeway. You get to go back in this level for the comet and collect a bunch of purple coins instead, but it's pretty much the same level.
That was an interesting star grab.
World 4 has a couple... It has very few levels that you could deem super exciting. Except the Bowser level is much more interesting. Not necessarily more fun for the runners, but definitely more
yeah. That Bowser level is not exactly the best.
You'll see why when we get there. There's a couple of pretty weird skips in that level that you do
So
in the normal
this
one and the Comet.
Comet level right here, a lot of people underestimate it because it looks super easy, but you actually need to have very good movement here if you want to go fast.
Yeah, because Yoshi, as we said earlier, it moves faster than Mario and Luigi do. And if you want to be going fast, ideally you don't stop at all while grabbing the purple coins, or like stop very little. So it's pretty easy to miss a purple coin. I'm sure we'll see Viper probably miss at least a couple throughout this whole thing.
I think this is actually the only purple coin level in the game that doesn't have a time limit.
I never thought about that.
They definitely downgraded the monstrosity of purple coins from Galaxy 1.
There's really no like exploration purple coin levels in this game compared to Galaxy 1, which has a lot of them.
But I loved Sea Slide Purple so much. It's my favorite level.
Yeah, I love deep dark purples. But all the coins here are just kind of right in front of you, so it's pretty obvious where each one is. And they're very generous with their bold berries as well. And also you can infinite flutter, so worst comes to worst, you just infinite flutter and you won't die.
Yep. And was that the first star we saw actually gotten with Yoshi in this whole run?
Yeah, probably. I mean, maybe Yoshi Star 2, but you can jump off of Yoshi. Oh, and Yoshi Star 1.
You jump off him at the end.
Oh, yeah.
You can actually,
the
if you grab the Grand Star with Yoshi in World 3, he actually shows up in the animation, which is really cool.
That's pretty cool. Well, we jump off, because we don't care about Yoshi.
We don't
So
kill
as
him,
said
though,
before-
because it's nice.
Yeah. As said before, Flipsville Comet is basically just the same as Flipsville 2, but with purple coins instead. It's even the same, like, the same route in each section.
Yeah, this purple coin star definitely harder than the silver stars because you have to make a lot of round trips if you like miss a few. But luckily with the drill, if you spin with the drill, you actually your hitbox gets increased by a lot, and you can collect a lot of purple coins at once.
I don't even know the route that Viper's doing.
There's like 2 different routes. Weird.
I've never seen this one before. But it's probably faster than the one I do know.
Cantaloupe! Oh my god. Barely survived there.
Someone asks if the Yoshi Star animation takes longer. It does not. It just has a different sound effect. Kind of like when you get the star that Luigi grabbed in the first game, and Luigi is just kind of there in the background.
It's really weird too because Mario isn't actually riding Yoshi in that animation. Yoshi just kind of added on there because Mario's animation is the exact same.
Yeah. So, looks like Viper missed that purple coin, but you can just wall jump. Even though Mario can't, like, slide on the wall with the drill, you can still wall jump. So now Viper's going to the, what I would say are the more exciting levels of World 4, if I'm being honest.
Oh man, Starshine Beach.
I mean, Chomp Works, especially though, compared to the rest of the world, is it's a godsend.
Yeah. So for those who really want a love letter to Sunshine in a main 3D Mario game, you get Twisty Trials in World S. That's like a literal knockoff of Rico 4. But you also get Starshine Beach, which we'll see later. It wasn't exactly the best tribute.
But they put Chucksters in.
Oh, so, yeah. The best part of
great.
Sunshine returns. The Chomp Works one here is auto-scroller the level, basically.
Has Claire done Supermassive 1? Because if she's not doing Honey
I think
Blue
you
1,
do it after Flipsville.
Yeah, so we will get to see Supermassive 1, even though 2 of the runners don't do it. which is an alright level. Looks like Cantaloupe actually missed a purple coin there at the very beginning, which sucks a lot. So Chomp Works is pretty straightforward level as well. There's a little trick that Viper's about to do, where you can kind of push the little ramp down so that this first chain chomp is actually able to get onto it. And you don't have to stand on it for a long time.
And now comes the real auto-scroller part.
Yeah, this part you just have to make sure the golden chain chomp doesn't break, and you just get it to the end.
If you are using 2 players, it is possible to make an early cycle here, but if you're using 1 player, you cannot make it, no matter how fast you go.
One of the few things that 2P actually helps with in this game. Compared to
in
Galaxy
1, it's broken.
Yeah, Galaxy 1's 2P it has a couple of glitches that let you do some extra skips and move faster, but in this game there's barely any time saves that 2P helps with.
The best thing you can do with 2-player in this game is grab purple coins, which helps a lot casually.
Yeah, but in a speedrun you're moving quickly, so it's kind of hard to also aim at other purple coins while you're doing that. And like do it at the same time. So Viper is able to make it through the auto-scroller, the super hard one, with no problems.
It's not like he's gonna have to do it again.
Yeah. Why would you make a Comet on a cool level?
So yeah, Claire is going into Supermassive. The level kind of speaks for itself. Everything is giant.
Yeah, there is a little skip that she's going to do at the beginning, where she uses the momentum of the pipe as it's moving upwards to skip the first thwomp, which you will see when you get there. She does manipulate the camera here for the pipe cycles, because again, it doesn't move if it's off-screen, just like enemies.
Oh, Cantaloupe, no. Claire died.
Claire's barely not able to make it up there. It was really close.
That pipe jump is probably the easiest trick in the game as Luigi, but as Mario, it's actually pretty difficult.
The problem with it as Mario is that you don't know exactly when to spin, because you have to spin pretty late, but your depth perception is pretty bad there, and you don't know exactly how close you are to the block.
Yeah, my depth perception is bad, period, so...
So it looks like Viper is in Chompworks 2, which gets to use everyone's favorite power-up.
Oh, yes!
Spring Mushroom. Which,
look at it, it's just teasing us right there.
Admittedly, it is better in this game.
Yeah, because you use it twice ever.
Yeah, and then this section's like not too bad. You can actually make an early cycle if you're quick enough, which I guess we'll see if Viper does.
I have seen somebody clear this whole section without the spring. I think it was Timpani in his casual playthrough.
Yeah, so spring's not a great power-up, but you're just kind of going up this time, which I feel like that's what Galaxy 1 should have done every time there was a spring. They should have just had you use it to go up instead of also moving around other.
Yeah, the reason it's much better in this game is because in this level it locks you into 2D, so you can't like get out of it by accident. In a 3D plane, that's when Spring Mario is really bad.
Yeah. But just like Galaxy 1, there's like pretty much all the worst areas with Spring can be skipped, except for like the section Viper just did.
So now he will be going on to Starshine Beach, and we'll get to see just how amazing that level is.
Yeah, it's somewhat underwhelming. They could have done a better job if they put more Sunshine references in.
It's so weird because it's an open world galaxy, but you can only get 1 star at a time. It'd be nice if they made it so you could get them out of order. Because the whole galaxy takes place on 1 planet for both stars.
Yeah. These stars casually are actually kind of neat. But speedrunning them's not super exciting. There's going to be another Yoshi Flutter at the beginning here after Viper gets Yoshi and the first Silver Star. There's some cages that you can break with the Spinies or the crabs. For some reason, the crabs are weird, and sometimes they'll just break on the cage and not break it. But if you're right next to the cage, it usually works. So Viper's going to flutter here up to the Silver Star. Normally you'd have to use the Spiny to get the Blimp Berry, but you can just flutter up there. And then you can grab the Dash Pepper, just to move quicker, and get that Green Star.
Green Star? Hold on.
Oh, Green Star. Silver Star. Green Stars are later. Not in this run, though.
Yeah, in my opinion, Green Stars is the best category in this game, but a lot of people don't like them because they're super boring and have a lot of downtime.
Yeah. So you also have to get the Comet Medal here. This one's actually kind of out of the way, but it's still faster to grab it. So just go down there really quickly.
And of course, Nintendo continuing their tradition of making eels more terrifying in every single Mario game.
They're just as bad here.
Then Odyssey, they become like beings from like some weird demented place.
Yeah, so I think Viper's about to do Starshine Beach 2. So this level is a bit longer casually. Normally you have to like move a lily pad flower. That's actually towards the end. You like go up to a big area where there's a cloud flower, and then you use a lily pad to go across the water so you don't lose the power up, so you can get all the way to the giant tower where the second Silver Star was in the first level. But we get to skip all that using everyone's favorite NPC from Sunshine, the Chucksters. They're back. With a well-timed Chuckster throw, you can actually... That was pretty good. With a well-timed Chuckster throw, you can just make it to the end. So Viper's also going to adjust his camera once he gets to the second planet to change the cycles of the cloud to be more friendly.
Cantaloupe struggling here to get up.
Which is fair. It is Spring Mario.
So this cloud jump that Viper's about to do, it's not too hard if your cloud is in a very good spot, but I'm pretty sure everybody who learned this game learned that if you hold A, you spin higher from this star. At least that's how I figured it out.
It's next to impossible if you don't hold A.
As Mario. As Luigi, I'm sure you can do it.
It's easy. It's really easy. But yeah, if you hold A, you spin higher. Also another thing the Galaxy games don't tell you.
And if you shake with the Wiimote, Mario spins higher, and if you shake with the nunchuck, Luigi goes higher. It's so weird.
It is really weird.
Motion controls. The best thing.
Innovation.
All they had to do was just stop after the Wii, and then they would have been fine, but they gotta put him in Odyssey too.
But at least you have gyro aiming in like Splatoon.
Oh yeah. And Fortnite for Switch.
Oh dude, everyone's favorite. So the Chompworks Comet is just the auto-scroller section again, but this time there's Cosmic Clones chasing you. Casually, they're very obnoxious, but there's an incredible strat that you can do while you're waiting so that they don't run into you. If you just crawl, you move very slowly, and then so do they, and they don't really get in your way.
Yeah, these Cosmic Clones, this is probably like one of the hardest comets in the game, or at least one of the most annoying, just because these guys mess with you a lot, because the whole point of them is you have to keep on moving to keep them away from you, and you have to stop a lot on these platforms to keep the chomp moving.
But once you know how to handle it, it's not too bad. And then you just have to time your jump onto the spring a little differently.
Cantaloupe doing his flutter here in Yoshi Star 1.
Starshine Beach 1. Yoshi Star 1 was a while ago.
Oh. I saw Yoshi and instantly thought Yoshi Star.
And it has Star in the name.
Yoshi
So-
Starshine Beach 1. Let's just
Unless
make
I'm-
that.
Unless I'm mistaken, we should be going to the Bowser level now,
Yep.
where we
Probably
actually
the hardest
have,
Bowser level in the game.
we have an actual.
I think that's pretty safe to say.
Yeah, so in the middle of this Bowser level, there's a giant 2D section where you're jumping around some like lava balls and there's some fire sticks, and there's an underwater part and also a part with two thwomps in a 3D section. It's like the entire middle part of the level. But you can actually skip. There's two ways to skip all of it. And we're going to do both because one lets you get the Comet Medal, and one we do in the actual Comet of the level, since you don't need to get the Comet Medal. We'll explain the second one later, but the first one you'll get to see right up here.
And the trick is called Behind the Castle because you literally go behind the castle, and for some reason it puts you in some other part of the level.
It's really weird looking. So Viper's gonna move up here and just he's gonna get the life shroom because you need 6 health for this. I think you technically need 5 if you do really well, but
Yeah.
it's better than 6. So he's gonna go up here and he's gonna grab the checkpoint and the Comet Medal. And then he's gonna go back to the question mark block and long jump onto that pillar and land on the spike, which is harder to do than it is to say, because there's some weird slopes on there. And he's gonna keep moving behind the castle on the lava and kind of scoot away from it a little bit, and he gets pulled all the way to like the end of the level, basically. It's a lot more complicated than it looks.
Oh yeah.
It takes
Getting on top of the
used to, for
pillar
sure.
is probably the hardest part.
Yeah, it's if you want to know how hard it is, I guess you can go ahead and try it for yourself. It's definitely not easy to do unless you know all the specifics.
That skips basically Galaxy in a nutshell.
Yep.
Like, that's what would realistically happen if Mario was in space.
And then this is yet another skip. If you die, you lose a lot of time. Because, well, if you fail, what happens is you kind of just get stuck in a wall, and you just kind of stay there for a moment, and then you die. And the real time loss there is you have to grab the Comet Medal again, but then also you can't try again at the checkpoint because you have to go back and get the life shroom again.
Yeah, and in that case, you would do the other lava boost, which is actually faster than doing it the intended way.
Yeah, so the second Bowser fight is pretty similar to the first one, except this time he has a little purple shockwave effect when he punches. And
Viper
this is the
actually
first one.
demonstrated it by getting hit.
Yep. And this is actually one of the Bowser fights that has a cycle skip. This one's harder to do. But what he's going to do is he's going to wait to shoot the meteor at Bowser until Bowser is about to start another punch attack, which I don't know if he got that or not. Okay, he did. Yeah, so Bowser would do another punch attack, but because you hit him, he just goes right into yelling at the meteors again.
Yelling at the meteor. That sounds so weird out of context.
Yeah, it does. You can do it again after this, but it actually skips him yelling, which is not what you want. In the third fight, it's much easier to get the cycle skip because Bowser starts his next attack earlier, whereas in this one, the meteors almost disappear before you're able to skip the phase.
Yep.
Other than that, this fight is pretty much the same as the first one, except now the fire leaves a trail behind.
That can actually be kind of annoying if you're trying to get to a meteor.
Yeah. And also, another thing casual players won't notice is Bowser's shell. If you hit the shell with a meteor, it actually bounces off. It doesn't deal damage to Bowser. And I found this out only a few days ago. Apparently, with each fight, the shell's hitbox gets bigger.
I know,
So
and that's what makes the last Bowser fight so hard.
Yeah, because you can miss and hit the shell by accident, and then it wastes your hit.
Viper's low on batteries, it's over.
Run's dead.
Yeah, for some reason the Wii likes to just torment you with that for the entire run, even though one battery can last for an entire, at least 120, I think. Because your battery survived your whole 120 a couple days ago.
Oh, I've had batteries survive a 242 in Galaxy 1 and 2. Combined 484. So, it's...
Let's not talk about 242 in Galaxy 1.
If you have good batteries, it can last a long time.
Is this where we plug our favorite battery companies?
I think Duracell is pretty good.
Yes.
That's the ideal. So, get some Duracell, everyone.
Dang, Claire just being super mean to that Goomba right there.
So World 5...
Oh, no. Claire.
Claire got hit, was not able to ground pound. That's unfortunate.
And that's really bad, too, because now the Cosmic Clones are going back on the path. And
yeah. So we're going to see Cantaloupe doing behind the castle here. Hopefully he's also able to get it.
Gets on the pillar.
Get used to it, it's not too bad. He
bonked on the wall, but that should still work with 1 health left.
Yeah, I think he should be okay. Alright. Yeah,
oh no, he didn't.
Wait, no, he fell off. He went too far away from the castle, is what it seems.
Viper just leaving them in their dust, it looks like.
So, when you go to World 5, you actually don't start doing it yet. You go back and do some cleanup in the other worlds. In the old route, you would have already done Boulder Bowl 1, which is why Claire has already completed it.
Oh, here's the other skip.
Oh. Cantaloupe's already shown off the other skip. He's getting ahead of us. So you can
don't fall through the ground. Okay.
You can do a big lava boost there and skip basically the whole level. This is where you'd end up in behind the castle. Lava boosting in this game is weird. If you hit a lava wall and then keep bouncing on lava, you go really fast.
It's probably my favorite thing to do in this game.
Yeah, it's just you can only do it so many times. Because, you can only get hit so many times before you die.
Oh, Viper.
Viper fails the skip, so yeah, that's a big punishing.
He was slightly too low on the ramp there, I think.
But that lava boost trick that Cantaloupe did, they're also going to do that when they come back to the Comet for this level. Because for that one, you don't actually have to get the Comet medal. So you just get to skip.
I think in the IL of this level by Nemi, there's actually a different lava boost that he does where, after getting the life stream, you side flip and then ground pound into the lava, and it takes you right to where behind the castle would take you. It's pretty crazy.
Why am I not surprised?
I mean, it's Nemi, so...
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Nemi is the current record holder of this game, and before Valu took the record from him about 3 years ago, he held the record in any percent for, 3 years?
Yeah, a long time.
And he basically goes for all the hardest strats. He's crazy. Whenever he's gonna do runs again, he will get sub 3, which has been a pretty big goal in any percent in this game for a while. Viper fighting Sonic right here.
Oh, you got to make the joke after all.
See, why can't they just use this for the Sonic movie?
I would watch that.
There might be slight copyright issues. Slight.
I guess.
I mean, they could just kind of adjust.
Hey, Nintendo, can we use your boss from 10 years ago in our movie?
Just ask the intern; they'll probably think it's.
Cantaloupe hitting Bowser right in the foot. Wow.
Alright, so now that Viper's done with Boulder Bowl 1, he should be doing levels that we haven't seen yet. Which I think is going to include doing Gobblegut again.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite. And the second Gobblegut fight is literally the same thing. Except you don't have to do the level first, you just have to go right to the boss. But I think he's probably going to do Boulder Bowl Comet next, and also Boulder Bowl Secret. Which Boulder Bowl Secret, along with Space Storm Secret, is another infamous level.
Oh yeah, especially
Yeah,
Space Storm.
Yeah, Space Storms is pretty bad. Oh, he's going to Hightail Falls. Alright, so this level's pretty much the same, but you will get to see a different trick at the end that you don't do in Hightail Falls 1, where you don't infinite flutter. You do a neat little trick with the dash Yoshi.
As you can see, there's a lot of meteors for no reason, and a lot of the level is broken. Literally.
Yep. Like, the parts of the floor are actually just destroyed.
What did Yoshi ever do to deserve this?
What's this?
Don't answer that question.
But yeah, the rest of this level is pretty much the same. Just a reminder for people who may not have heard earlier, this game's also being run at SGDQ on, what, Friday is what you said?
June 28th, so yes, Friday, at 1 a.m. Central, by Viper.
So,
And I believe Sludgy and Claire will both be on commentary.
we will.
I won't because I'm too poor.
So Viper's going to be going into the launch star here instead of infinite fluttering. And he's going to take the dash pepper and jump just like at a certain timing, and he just flies all the way up to where the star is. Which I don't know exactly how that works, but it's pretty cool.
So Claire and Claire and Cantaloupe both finished World 4 here. Both going to be not entering World 5.
Claire's going to have a slight advantage here because she has already completed Boulder Bowl 1. Cantaloupe is not. But they should be about even. I think Viper definitely has the lead, though. So now, Viper is doing another level that I think casually a lot of people didn't like. The Boulder Bowl Comet, which is... There's just a bunch of crabs on a planet, and you roll around with the boulder power. And if you know that you can stop rolling by jumping and pressing Z, then this level's not too bad. But if you don't know that, it's definitely more painful.
And it's actually all RNG too.
Indeed. Enemy movement in both Galaxy games. For the most part, like the free roaming enemies, all the movement's RNG.
Which is, ironically, most of the RNG you'll get in these games. There's really not that much.
Yeah. It's like bosses have some RNG, but it's like the biggest RNG in both the Galaxy games is like Bouldergeist, but he's not even in any percent.
Luckily. Yeah, he can lose you up to like, what, 40 seconds or something?
The worst RNG, yeah, and you have to fight him twice.
Pretty epic.
Yep.
Viper, 16 seconds left. Wow, that's really good.
Depending on how good RNG you get, you can get upwards of like 25, maybe 30 seconds left. But that would be really impressive. And then next he's going to be doing the secret, which, as said, is infamous because it's an escort mission with a Goomba, which is a great idea.
Yeah. At least we don't have to do it with a top man.
Yeah, I'm really glad that they didn't make a level. Imagine if we had to do that.
That'd be awful.
That's Space Storm's secret level, for those who don't know. You have to do it with a nice little spinning
We don't talk about it.
A bunch of obstacles in the way, and lasers, and holes in the ground, and bombs.
You always have to add lasers to everything.
This one's honestly not too bad.
Yeah, the only problem is the rocks and the chain chomps that can get in your way.
Yeah. So you'll see Viper is going to do the skip again that you do in Boulder Bowl 1, but this time it's easier because you get to use normal Mario instead of the boulder power-up. And just, like, do a normal spin. Oh, looks like he got in a bad spot on the wall there, unfortunately.
It's weird. There are some spots in both Galaxy games where you can wall slide, but for some reason you can't jump.
Yeah.
There we go.
So he's just gonna long jump over, and because you can keep like moving left after a spin, it's a much easier skip. Are the cycles gonna be different now that he died? I think the cycle is different. So normally, on the normal cycle, you can actually just let the Goomba keep chasing you. And if you don't stop, then it'll just be right out of the way of the boulders.
Now there is a soft lock that can happen here.
Which, if a Goomba jumps, like, right when the, when you talk to the Guillermo and the little thing shows up, the game will just soft lock.
Oh, I thought it was if you took damage at the same time.
Oh, that might also be a thing. I don't know.
I've only seen it ever happen twice, I think. One of them was to Valu on record pace.
I saw it happen to Pants a couple of years ago. That's the one I know.
And Viper actually had it happen to him a few months back in his 242 race, I think. No. Yes? Yeah, it did happen in his 242 race a couple months ago.
Which, luckily, since this game autosaves, you actually can just use the Wii menu to reset and then go back in, but you still lose a lot of time.
And Sludgy knows all about soft locking in Galaxy 1.
Yeah, I did find a soft lock in Galaxy 1 that happens at the end of the game, and since you don't save in that, you killed my run.
Oh, it was 1545 when he soft locked, never mind. I got them mixed up because they're basically the same thing.
Yeah, so as we just said, Viper's going to be doing Gobblegut. It's the same thing.
So, for some reason, this is the only star in the entire game, I think across both games, that doesn't have a fly-in animation. You just start the Gobblegut cutscene.
Yeah.
So according to Claire, their routes are converged, so we'll be able to tell the difference now.
Yeah, they should be the same. Once we get to, once we're done with this cleanup, we'll get to some cooler levels. Scary levels for sure, but cooler.
World 5 is definitely better than 4, in my opinion.
Yeah. Looks like Viper's able to do pretty well on the Gobblegut fight.
Nice.
So that's the last of the cleanup, right? They just go back to World 5 now?
I believe so, because they've already done most of World 1.
So World 1 and 2 are done now. They're not going back there for the rest of the run. They still are going to revisit World 3 and 4 later. Much later.
Yeah, World 3 and 4 are definitely the big centers of the cleanup at the very end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all the way back to World 5. Now, Space Storm 1, kind of a, like, in-between level for me, good and bad. At the very start, the level was pretty bad, but after that, it's very easy.
Yeah, so... I don't really know how to describe this level. There's
You
no
gotta
big
get a
skips,
bomb to follow
really.
you.
Yeah. There's a huge cylinder that you can see there, which you fall and you just kind of keep going. And you just have to get to the right area while avoiding all the lasers and stuff, and there's a launch star over there, so... There's some pretty good movement you can do here, but if you're bad, then you go way slower here.
If you're bad.
So me is what I'm talking about. In this part, the bomb follows you from below. It's pretty easy to avoid the lasers. All you have to do is jump or just run in between them. And then when you get to the lower section, you could walk back on the path that the bomb went, or you could just long jump.
Now here we just got... This is actually where the awful star would take place, because as you can see, there's a red top man there. And once you get a letter from a Guillermo, you come all the way back here and take him where Viper just passed, right before those pole stars, that's where the Guillermo would be. And you can kind of figure out for yourself why the level's bad now.
So this section's nothing crazy. You just use the pole stars to get to the star. Space Storm 2, if you've played Galaxy 1, you may recognize the planet a little bit.
It's better than Buoy Base, by the way.
Because it goes faster.
Oh, the Cantaloupe. His Goomba's not paying attention to him. Hopefully he's alive.
Yeah, Goombas aren't very smart. Looks like Claire's doing Gobblegut again, so hopefully she's able to do well there.
She did get a perfect Gobblegut last time, so...
Well, that means that she's gonna screw it up. That's how it works.
Hey, don't jinx.
It's reverse psychology. So there actually is a skip that Viper will be doing. Before you get to the buoy base area of the level, you're supposed to go through like a bubble area, and there's like switches you can hit that slow down time. But we don't need to do that.
Sludgy, you predicted it. Claire messed up.
Yeah, it's my fault. I'll take the blame on that one. Instead of going to the right, Viper's just going to triple jump to the left, or double jump, also works. And long jump right on up to the buoy base area. The game wants you to slow down time for this part, so it's more manageable, but we don't have time for that. So
just go fast,
all the way up.
forehead.
Triple jump, get the star, and then the level's over. Just like that.
One of my favorite stars in the whole game. Like,
Yeah.
unironically.
Except when you screw it up, it's like impossible to do.
And now that Space Storm's out of the way, we opened up, like, a lot of stuff in World
The rest
5.
of World 5, basically. So this is the only Hungry Limo we skip because Fleet Glide is slow. And also not fun. So Shiverburn, this first one, is just the skating mini game again from Freezy Flake, and it's the same thing. Just with 600
You gotta
points.
get 600 points this time, man. It's harder.
Yeah.
Then Viper's just gonna pop in with a 910 or whatever.
Yeah.
He got, like, what, 860 last time?
Yeah. So what they want you to do is ride this this yellow platform to a switch that turns the lava into ice. Well, that's boring. So you just
Well, Shiverburn's actually a pretty cool level.
it is. It is
Pun was not
actually really
intended that time.
cool. Yeah. Now there's a couple skips you do in Shiverburn 1 that actually skip some cool parts of the level, but you got to go fast, as Sonic would say.
Mario basically is Sonic. He's just red.
Yep.
Alright, let's see what Viper's gonna get here.
I'm guessing 740.
800.
I'm going low this time.
So, I guess we never actually explained this minigame in full. There are a bunch of different patterns you can get here. I believe there's like 4 different ones. The patterns themselves are not random, but it is random which one you get. So you just have to kind of adapt to whichever one you end up getting.
The layout of each, or the layout of all the sections is the same
790,
each time. It's just like rotated.
I was 10 points off.
I don't even remember what I guessed. 40.
I think you guessed like 40.
So for Freeze, or for Shiverburn, Shiverburn 1, you might have seen when Viper was long jumping over to the pipe, there was also a launch star over there. That's where you're supposed to go, but we're just actually going to go the opposite direction because
We're gamers.
we're a gamer.
Sludgy is the gamer though, because his name is Gamer.
The Sludgy Gamer. So he's gonna grab the Cloud Flower here and then just kind of move backwards. I don't actually. He might do the fast strat for this here.
He's going for it.
Yeah. So you can just long jump this way, and using your clouds, you can skip to this later planet. I think this skips the first area, which is just the first planet, and then it skips one more planet after that, I want to say.
It skips the like the first part of this planet where you have to go up and like go up on the ramp and climb through the rest of that lava wheel.
Yeah. So then you get over here and you can just long jump. You don't have to do the middle section. He changes the camera to change when these enemies appear, or no, when the ice falls, I think.
Yeah.
You don't actually have to kill the enemies. You can just go right to the ice, and then you get to fight Prince Picante, the son of King Caliente from the first game.
Prince Picante.
This fight has some RNG on the second hit. I think
unless you're Viper, who actively tries to push people to not do the non-RNG strat.
Yeah. So Picante just shoots. Yeah, he missed. He shoots like what are these melons? Let's call them cantaloupes because
they're cantaloupe. Oh, how to cantaloupe?
Yeah. He shoots these in the second phase. He shoots them up in the air, and 2 fall down. Oh, he was actually able to get it. You can hit the cantaloupes as they're being shot out of his mouth. It's just random when they get shot up, so you might miss. But that was actually really good by Viper.
Also, I'm pretty sure they're coconuts, and then when you get 9,999 star bits, either in the bank or in your own disposal, they become watermelons.
Yeah.
I know the lore.
Clearly, I don't.
Even though this dude read the Galaxy Library after not sleeping for 22 hours.
It was worth it. I would recommend reading the Galaxy Library if you haven't. It's very sad.
It's a pretty good book.
But
probably
it's very
costs like $10.
Yeah. So now I think Viper's going on probably to
either Blue Moon or Upside Dizzy.
Yeah.
Upside Dizzy.
Yeah. So Upside Dizzy is like the sequel to Right Side Down from earlier. There's a lot of like high momentum gravity stuff, kind of, but it's nothing too crazy. And
the last section of this level is one of the hardest parts of the whole run, in my opinion. To do very fast.
Yeah, so in this first section, you just drop down. You basically just kind of do what the game wants you to do. And then you skip the block by just, like, keeping your momentum. And then you can skip... I don't know if he's going to do it here. Yeah, you can get right on up to the pipe without hitting the switch by bouncing on the Goomba. It's pretty good. This part, you go from left to right while there's the timer in the background. Changing the direction the gravity is.
Alright, nice.
He's doing pretty good so far.
The worst thing about this is if you get hit right before the timer switches or the gravity switches, if you're about to get up and be able to move again, if the gravity switches, Mario falls down again.
Yeah, and it restarts the animation, which is pretty annoying. So Viper did a really good job there in Upside Dizzy. Cantaloupe over here doing the skating minigame. I think he's going to get 7.
So Claire is actually ahead of Cantaloupe.
Yes, she is. By about a level.
Cantaloupe 700. Claire got 620, so I think Viper just automatically wins by default because he got the highest score.
So Viper's going in back into Upside Dizzy. This is just another box mini game, like Right Side Down. It's just there's more boxes this time, but a lot of them break at once, so that's kind of fun.
Yeah, this is what a lot of people consider to be the hardest level in the game until they get to Perfect Run.
Yeah. This one can be very annoying, casually.
Get in the pipe, get in, Viper, oh my god, get in the, okay, no, okay.
He's figuring it out.
He's trying. There we go.
After this, they're probably doing Boo Moon, which is actually a pretty cool galaxy. Has a couple skips in it.
It's pretty spooky.
There's ghosts in that level.
I
Yeah,
love
so the
Boo
strat
Moon
for this is you
one.
just take care of one side at a time. And wow, this is a really good time.
8.
8
Dang.
seconds. That was impressive.
Oh, Cantaloupe's on 1 health. Oh god. Alright, he's alive. I think. Why is he do? Oh my god.
Trying to get coins.
That is not worth. That is so not
Okay.
worth.
Yeah, he's...
No.
He tried to fix it.
Just get the life shroom, my guy. This is scary.
I wasn't paying attention to Claire's boss fight, but I'm just gonna assume that she made it by.
It went pretty well.
So, Boo Moon... So, which one are they gonna do first? Secret? I'd imagine Secret.
I think so. Either secret or 1. That's what you're... Okay.
I guess we'll find out when we get there. So, Boo Moon has this weird section where you'll see it. The wall kind of like stops being a floor, it moves to being a wall, and you can manipulate the gravity there to skip a portion of the level for Boo Moon 1. But you don't want to do that for the secret.
Dude, the Spike Vegeta is in chat.
Dang. So first, there's this nice little maze, but it's not really a maze because it's not confusing. And then an auto scroll. But trust me, it gets better.
Yeah,
So-
it starts out as an auto scroller here with these snake blocks, and then very soon, if Viper does the first star first. Okay, he's not. He's doing secret.
Good.
So this is an auto scroller until like the very end.
Yeah, so he's gonna pass by the launch star, which is where you would go for the normal level, Boo Moon 1. But if you keep going, there's another block with a secret star. And when you get to the green stars, there's also a green star there. But instead of following the snake block, you can just long jump to the left.
I
and
thought
that
he missed.
saves a while. That saves a bit. There's a cooler skip that he gets to do in Boo Moon 1, where he will... That wall that goes up, he'll go over to that wall to activate it, but then go back to the snake block that he had jumped off of. And because the gravity will switch in a certain spot, he'll be able to long jump into the launch star instead of having to wait for the snake block to get there. Which saves... I don't know, like 30 seconds maybe? I know
Saves
when
time,
it
but if you
first got
missed it-
found, it changed the route.
Oh yeah,
uh,
that skip is like one of the big route changes in the
Yeah,
run.
it took out Supermassive Secret, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. Cantaloupe and Claire making their way through Upside Dizzy. Definitely looking to be Viper's race right now, but they still have a whole world left.
Anything could happen. So there's some weird... It's a weird angle once you come back from the wall turning. So, yeah, you want to be, like, where Viper is, because if you're not... Like, you hold up, but Mario kind of moves left. But if you spin at the right spot there, you just go right into the launch star. It's not too bad once you practice it a bit. And then this last section is just a Silver Star section. Which is nice and fun. Good, clean fun. It's Luigi's Mansion 3. It's looking great. After this, I believe Viper is just going to be doing some one more level in Shiverburn. He's doing Shiverburn Comet, which is actually different from the main levels of Shiverburn. A nice change of pace.
Yeah, it puts you on one planet, which is where you fought Prince Picante.
But there's other dudes there now.
They're basically his children.
So Viper got the letter for the really bad Space Storm.
Yeah, we're not going there.
Yeah, you don't go there. Luckily.
I just want to point out for our future YouTube viewers that Viper has been making some deals this entire time he's been racing. You know, he's just trying to get his commentator sorted out for his SGDQ race, so he figured, why not do it while he's actually playing?
Yeah. Master multitasker. He was talking to Spike in chat while he's playing the game.
The art of the deal.
He's going to start playing Mario 64 in the middle of his GDQ run, right on stage.
Imagine.
Alright, so here there's a nice little trick you can do. Normally, when you're on ice, even with Rainbow Mario, you don't, like, move around like Rainbow Mario would. So you usually skate, but they had a nice little oversight. If you just jump while skating and land, you'll just run like normal. So the level goes way quicker. I don't know how the QA testers didn't catch that, to be honest. Maybe they left it in on purpose. But it's a nice quick level. And then he should be finishing up World 5 here with the last Bowser Jr. fight.
So, I'm pretty sure in terms of the main series 3D Mario games, this is actually where we, kill a child in the form of Bowser Jr.
Yeah, he has not shown up since.
He's in the spin-off games, but who knows when those take place.
Yeah, pretty sure Bowser Jr. dies in this level.
So make sure after this fight we get some D colons for Bowser Jr. Or F, yeah. That works too.
So at the start of this level, you bring a bullet bill to open up a cannon. And when you shoot out of it, normally you would try to hit a target, and then you fight some Hammer Brothers, or Boomerang Brothers. But you can actually just shoot at the Boomerang Bro and kill it, and to land normally. You don't actually have to hit the target. The cannons in this game, if you're not aware, are different than the ones in 64. They actually just shoot you straight. You don't have to, like, account for physics.
And you have motion controls, so it's either good or bad.
The best part is that you press A and it moves your hand, which moves the controller, and then you miss.
Unless you are a surgeon, and you can, like, have the most steady hands.
As we all know, surgeons are very popular in the speedrunning community.
Yep. I mean, you ever speedrun Surgeon Simulator?
I did not. So you also can skip the target here and just go right over to the Comet Medal. And then...
Oh, this is interesting from Viper. What is he doing?
I have not seen...
You can do that?
Normally, you can also get the cloud there. I just learned something new.
You can do that! Oh my... I'm blown away.
So this fight, you have to use the Cloud Flower to jump up to the top of Bowser Jr. Except after a little while, he'll start to be like electric. And if you touch him, you get zapped. Otherwise, you have to ground pound on him.
Final showdown with Bowser Jr. here. Just gonna do a lot of backflips.
Yeah, and it's basically the same in the second phase too.
Except you go a lot higher, and he's moving.
Yeah. So he tries to like suck you in here, but it doesn't really matter. You can still kind of go up. You know, we didn't explain cloud cancels. If you press Z after you make a cloud, you don't do the animation. You just like stay on the cloud, and you can make clouds quicker. So now you just use the second Cloud Flower, make it all the way to the top, and Bowser Jr. is caught in an exploding machine, and he dies.
F.
He
Big
has not
F.
appeared since. He's not in 3D World. He's not in Odyssey. Mario U doesn't exist.
Listen, those are also spin-offs, kind of.
Yeah, so he's gone. He's had better days.
Galaxy 1, he was probably at his peak.
Yeah.
Or Sunshine, considering he kind of terrorized an entire island and Mario got blamed for it. I'd say he did his best job in that game.
Yeah, he wasn't bad. So World 6 is the final world of the game. Instead of World 8, like the 2D games. I mean, there's a special world unlocked post-game, but of course you can't do that because it's
Wrong warp to World S confirmed.
And there's 14 stars left. You have to get 70 stars to unlock the final Bowser level. And then you get the last one. So it's 71 stars, I guess. Which is 10 more than you get in Galaxy 1.
Yeah, and that's why this game is so much longer. It's around 40 minutes longer.
Yeah.
Because Hardcore destroyed Galaxy 1.
Mm-hmm. So, Melty Molten, I think, is another level.
Hey, Melting Monster.
Oh, Melty Monster. Melty Molten's in Galaxy 1, I'm sorry. Melty Monster is another level that I think suffers from the really cool concept, really good first level, and then they kind of just...
It makes literally no sense. This entire galaxy is like the big bad lava level, and then you go into the second level. There's no lava whatsoever.
Yeah,
it's just rock Mario.
Yeah, but this first level's cool. Nothing really special with the Pole Star, just quick movement, avoiding the big blargs or whatever.
Pame's Rupo, I probably mispronounced that name. 307 person raid. Thanks.
So over here, there's going to be some lava boosts to avoid having to do some platforming and stuff. It's nothing too special. Normally, you just be kind of climbing on these poles and making your way to the different platforms, but you can just keep going because of the life ship.
It's gonna be interesting. Lava boosting.
Looks like Claire
died.
probably aimed too high at the Boomerang Bro. If you don't aim low enough, you actually will hit the Boomerang Bro and keep going, and then die.
Either that, or if you aim too low,
you just get hit by it.
Yeah, you get hit and don't kill him.
It can be kind of weird. The cannon works in weird ways.
There is a very rare thing that can happen where the Boomerang Bro just jumps away, but you still land on the platform.
Yeah. Like, you can miss and still make it. So this last section is kind of weird. Viper doing some very risky stuff over here. While jumping around. Grabs some coins right before he was about to die.
Yeah.
This is a weird section because all these planets have like their own gravity. So when you're jumping around, it's kind of hard to get into a specific gravity spot.
It's definitely the hardest part of the level. And it's also really stressful because if you die here, you go all the way back to the tornado section.
Yeah. Unless you don't get the checkpoint, in which case you go to right after the first section.
And then if you don't get that checkpoint, then you're just stupid.
Yeah. So, looks like Claire's heading over to the Bowser Jr. fight. Cantaloupe not too far behind.
So Sludgy actually mentioned a couple days ago how unsettling this area is because you got this gigantic black hole that's consuming everything in World 6, and you got this happy Starship Mario music.
Yeah, it's kind of weird looking, especially with all the grass everywhere. But you know, I can respect them remaining positive.
I mean, Lubba's on the ship. He probably caused the black hole in the first place.
It wouldn't surprise me.
He's
so, Melty Monster 2 and Secret, they are actually Rock Mario levels, which is really weird. I imagine he's doing Melty Monster 2 first. This one is just a giant Rock Mario. Like, you just don't stop. You keep going.
Yeah. You literally cannot stop your rock roll for some reason.
Yeah, because you get faster after each ramp, and you can't stop.
Now,
So-
assuming Viper is not doing any safe strats, he's actually going to be going for zigzag skip here.
Yeah, I don't... It's kind of a weird skip. Towards the end, there's 2 bumpers that you have to hit to get to the last area, but if you move at the right spot and roll to the right, you can actually skip it, so I guess we'll see if he does it or not. It's dangerous, but it's also dangerous to hit the bumpers, because sometimes, depending on how you hit it, it can just knock you to the side and then you'll die.
Sludgy knows all about that.
Yeah, that's
How many runs have you lost to this level now?
I mean, it's probably around 3, but, you know, it's at the very end of the run. It can be disappointing to die on this level. So we'll see if he does the exact skip, I guess.
Looks like he's doing it because he's spinning after every jump.
And he makes it.
Nice.
Actually,
Doing
yeah,
the
if you
skip
just-
itself isn't really that hard. It's just getting to the star after doing the skip, because you have to turn around.
Yeah,
like,
you have to stop your
very
momentum to the right. There's a IL strat that you can do here, where you like for the green star. I remember I think Nemi did it, or like Yoshi fan or something, where you can spin in the air and keep bouncing. I don't even know how it works, but
Oh
you
my
can
God.
basically fly with Rock Mario.
Rock Mario is
man.
weird. There's in Freezy Flake 2, you can skip all the way to the boss with Rock Mario by doing frame perfect spins.
But that's a task strat, and it's different like every time.
I think somebody has done that skip in
Yeah.
real time.
Someone did do it RTA, but it's not viable. So this is just a bowling mini game. Again, it just doesn't fit in at all with the rest of the level. But
I love Wii Bowling.
you have to get 5,000 points, which is really easy.
So there is a faster strat here. If you spin at the right time, after Mario goes off the ramp, he'll keep on moving, and you can just skip without you can go on to the next section without the camera moving or following you, and without your rock running out.
It's pretty easy to hit enough of the dudes. You can miss like 3.
Oh my god.
Okay, yeah, he got the perfect amount. You usually get around 5,000, 5,100, or 5,200.
Fun fact about this level, if you enter it and then leave through the pipe, and you go in the first person, you can see the gigantic void in the middle of space that the chimp is in.
I did not know that.
It's pretty scary.
I did learn something new today. So Claire and Cantaloupe are now in Melty Monster as well, doing the same stuff that Viper was doing.
Claire still keeping her lead over Cantaloupe right now. As Viper enters Clockwork Ruin's Secret, this level is it's tough.
Yeah, so there's these giant cogs, and you have to grab 30 coins to feed a Hungry Luma.
Well, you basically you have to grab like 20, and then there's a question mark block that gives you 10. But even getting 20 coins on these things is really hard to do fast.
Yeah. And it's easy to miss cycles as well.
Mainly because the Octumbas will throw rocks at you, and if you timer jumps wrong, they will knock you right off. And if you die, your cycles get all messed up.
But it is better than the purple coin level here, where you have to get 100 coins. And you have to get all of them.
Yeah, purples here isn't the best. Cantaloupe's on 1 health in the last section. This is not good.
That's a Monka S, as Twitch chat would say.
The Viper's got 19 here, and he's gonna quickly get 29, then just get 1 more here. Once you make it to the last cog, you're pretty much
Or
safe.
miss the last hit of the block. It's also an
Interesting.
option. So with this this Hungry Luma planet, there's like I actually haven't done this level normally in a long time, but there's just a bunch of hammers that kind of try to crush you. but you can just skip all of it. Like wall jumping.
Yep, you could just skip this and it's pretty free actually. Try it out for yourself. A lot of these skips you can actually do with relative ease.
So we had a comment in chat. Figured might be a good time. I know you kind of referenced it earlier, Adme, about the 602. If you want to talk about that sort of community.
This is finally a chance to plug my stuff. I'm kidding. So for those who don't know what the Super Mario 602 is, both me and Sludgy have done it multiple times for myself. Sludgy's only done it once, but he got a really good time.
It's fun.
What the 602 is, it's you're actually seeing one of the games in it being Galaxy 2. It's Super Mario 64 120 star, Galaxy 120 star, Sunshine 120 shines, and then this game 242 stars, all in a row, with no breaks in like under 1 hour. And it takes around 20 hours or more to do all 4 of the games. It takes up to 30 hours or more if you're like pretty slow. The slowest time anybody's gotten on it is 47 hours. And the record's 21 hours. And it's a race that happens twice a year. Once in June or July and once in December. And the next one is actually on July 6th at 9 a.m. Eastern. And out of all 5 people on this stream right now, myself and the player will both be running in it. And it's a good time. It's a pretty fun stream.
If you want to sign up, you can probably just search 602 race on Google, and the Google Doc should show up. And you can.
I've been trying to convince Sludgy to sign up for the past year, but he hasn't.
Nope. It's fun though. It is a good time. So if you've never done a 602, not a bad thing to do. But Viper over here is on Throwback Galaxy, which we didn't really have to explain anything. You kind of just
the reason that I was going on about the 602 for so long so that we couldn't make any SM64 jokes.
Why didn't he do canonless?
Shut up.
Yeah, so this is just a Mario 64 level, but with a cooler boss fight.
And the Womp King actually has a crown this time around, and he's not just a slightly bigger Womp.
Yep. He had to go out of his way to get the Comet Medal, but otherwise Viper just kind of goes straight to the end.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you die here, you can't just reset.
Yeah. Because it's at the end of the game instead of the beginning.
It was definitely a hugely missed opportunity here to not make the Comet a 100 coin star as a reference, but whatever, it's fast enough for us to do in a run now.
Yeah, it would have been really cool if they had just like put coins in the same area that they had in 64.
And actually, the Comet Medal in this level is where the shoot into the blue star is.
Yeah, so there's some references.
It is possible to phase through the Womp. You can't just ground pound through him as easily, but in the Womp before the actual fight, if you jump at like when he ground pounds you or like jumps on you, if you jump right before he hits you and you go like at the very edge, he'll send you straight through the floor and you can just go straight to the ball. It's really precise though and stupid and not worth it.
If you want to see something cool, you can look at the task for Throwback 1. It's pretty cool. You could probably find it on YouTube.
Oh, I think Cantaloupe either died or messed up the game.
Yeah. Claire's over here on Clockwork Ruins Secret as well. Hopefully she's able to make it through with no problem. Throwback 2 is just a Silver Star level where you kind of just go around the level.
Which I guess could be a reference because Mario 64 DS had Silver Stars.
Yeah.
Just not in this level.
The Comet is the same thing, just with the timer this time.
And the moving guys at the very start go a bit faster.
Yeah. Using more cloud momentum, able to get up to that Silver Star.
As you can
And then
see,
last
the
one.
spot where the cannon star is broken already, so no, we cannot do cannonless. I've tried to recreate it in this game, though, and it's very hard.
Also, there's no cannon, I'm pretty sure.
There is, technically, but it's just a sling star that sends you up.
Yeah. So Viper makes it through that level, no problem. It's not too difficult.
Now that Womp's Fortress is done for a bit, we're going to head on to the Hungry Luma of this place, which requires 1,800 starbits. I don't know how these guys eat that many, but they're crazy.
Now, if you thought Cosmic Cove was a resident sleeper... Oh, wait, no, hold on. This is Flash Black. We'll get there.
Yet.
We'll get to Resident Sleeper.
This level's the opposite of Resident
Yeah,
Sleeper.
this level's actually pretty cool.
For the longest
Luigi's
time,
Mansion.
I thought this was called Flashback Galaxy, and I was like, why didn't they make it like Babam Battlefield? And I realized it was called Flash Black.
Yeah. If you've seen that new Luigi's Mansion 3, it's basically that.
Yeah, this is like the exact same thing. This is LM3.
Sucks that we're not playing as Luigi, though.
Cantaloupe needs to
So-
get a lot of extra coins.
Yeah, so this level doesn't really have skips, it just has, like, cool movement. Because, as you can see, the level flashes periodically, otherwise it'll be dark. So you kind of have to rely on your knowledge of where everything is. And you get to use Yoshi, you have to use the Blimp Shroom because Infinite Fluttering is just too slow. There's a couple of tight squeezes that you can make here.
Is this the first time we... Oh, never mind, Taltron. I was about to say, this is the first time we actually used the blimp.
And then you have to move to the left here to get the Comet Level. And then for the rest of the level, we don't really need Yoshi.
And that's all we have for Yoshi.
We'll see him again later.
He's fine. Luckily, this game actually confirmed that Yoshi does not die. He just goes into his egg.
Yeah.
Unless it's in Sunshine, where he's like some monster made out of paint.
Well, I mean, if you fall with Yoshi, he dies.
Oh yeah.
It's just you also die. So yeah, you just long jump around here, grab the silver stars. To go quick, you definitely like need to know where the floor is and where it isn't. But when done well, it's a pretty satisfying level to do.
So now we have the Resident Sleeper 2. Well, actually, I like this next level a lot.
Slimy Spring, it's kind of Resident Sleeper, but at the end of the run, if you're on good pace...
It's a very needed and necessary level.
Yeah, it's nice and relaxing, because if you're on good pace, there's a lot of things that you can screw up in World 6 that can ruin your run.
Yeah, because right after Slimy Spring, which is like super boring and slow, we're about to enter like the hardest part of the run.
Yeah. The very beginning and very end of the run are both pretty hard.
This is probably like one of the only speed games where the start of the run is one of the hardest parts. So basically all you gotta do here is just go underwater, grab a shell, and make your way to the end. And hopefully not miss the Comet Medal.
Yeah, but it's pretty... It's
What did... Cantaloupe? What was that?
Get crushed?
I don't
didn't
know
see it.
why he tried doing that, but okay.
Here, I'll look at the playback on the stream. What was that?
He just tried... I guess he wanted to go through the womp or something?
That's, yeah, maybe he was trying to do it for the fans. I can respect it. Sometimes you just gotta show off.
Yeah. Luckily, unlike Galaxy 1, if you die in a boss, you can go just skip the cutscene. And he's doing it again. Why? I'm so confused. What is he trying to do here? And he got hit by a wimp.
Thwimp is what they're called. Because Thwomp.
I'm pretty sure the guys that he's fighting right now are Womps and Wimps. The square dudes are Thwomps.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Everyone gets it. He's about to die again. Oh my god.
Oh, no, he made it. He's a lad. So we're not really explaining anything in Slimy Spring because there's nothing.
But we can go fast.
Yeah, with these little circles. And I don't know how ghosts are underwater, but Luigi's Mansion 3 is looking pretty good.
Now, right here, this is probably the absolute limit of the Wii's amazing graphical capabilities.
Viper jumps out of the water and throws the shell.
Just look how beautiful this looks. That amazing 480p.
Of course, they had to ruin it with Captain Toad.
Hey, he's cool. Captain Toad and King Boo for Smash.
My favorite, my favorite picks. So pretty soon, there's going to be some cleanup in World 3 and World 4, and then they'll come on back to finish the run. Which they're making good time on this run.
Yep, now it's basically just comets galore.
Yep.
32 comet medals.
In fact, I think the rest of this is all Comet levels, right?
Yeah, it is.
Except for the final Bowser. These are some very rapid-fire levels.
So, talk to me a little bit about just like getting into this game in general. Like, if somebody wants to speedrun this game, like how is it like a very like approachable game in the beginning, but then it just like kind of gets harder as you go on, like with most speed games, or is it kind of hard to get into initially?
I definitely think Galaxy 1 is easier to get into because it's definitely more since it's shorter than this game. It's easier to get into, and also a lot of the strats and movement are just more beginner friendly. This game, it's kind of hard to find a good balance between beginner and intermediate stuff, because not only there are a lot of very hard strats in this game compared to the first game. Cantaloupe just died.
That's unfortunate.
But yeah, if you're looking to get into, I ran Galaxy 2 before 1. I think I learned it in like mid 2015. I did a 242 run just on a whim and got like 14 hours, and I was like, wow, this is sick. I'm gonna try Galaxy 1. And then, like, if you're looking to get into either of the Galaxy games, you can start with either one, but Galaxy 1 is definitely the easier one. Sludgy could probably talk more about that because he's way better at it than I am.
Yeah, I ran Galaxy 1 first. I will say that Galaxy 1, I think, kind of has the advantage of having intermediate strats, whereas Galaxy 2 is kind of like there's beginner strats, and then there's like advanced strats, and then there's the expert strats. There's not a ton of intermediate stuff. You have to practice a lot more for Galaxy 2, whereas Galaxy 1, there's ways to beat levels quicker than a beginner would, but not nearly as fast as an expert would. So yeah, I'd say Galaxy 1's easier to get into, but again, you can start with either one. The best runners, the best of the best, it is pretty hard to get really good. It's never easy to get into, hard to master. Just like a lot of speed games, for sure. Recently, Hardcore Gaming, or I guess a couple months ago, it just destroyed any percent Luigi in Galaxy 1.
Yeah,
so they can get really optimized.
Every year or so, like when summer comes around, there's always like what we like to call the Galaxy Renaissance, where like a whole slew of new runners comes in and just like climbs the leaderboard constantly. It happened in like 2017 and 2015, and again in 2018. And Hardcore was one of those many runners, and he improved so fast.
Yeah. But even in this game, I mean, Nemi came back and started to just lower it even more. But even then, like, even him, who's like really good at running, was having a hard time getting some sub 3 stuff, which he never did end up getting.
So Viper just did beat block Comet. As you saw, he did a Yoshi Flutter there because Yoshi isn't in the first level, and beat block does move a lot faster in that Comet, but it's not really that big of a deal if you do the Flutter because you skip out on pretty much the big chunks of the level.
So I think Viper's about to do
Gravity
he's
Gauntlet.
about to do Gravity Gauntlet Comet, which we saw Cantaloupe do the skip earlier, but if you missed it, you get to see the skip again, the giant lava boost. There's a lot going on with like the controller and the directions you're holding during the whole thing. It looks really weird, but you just skip the whole thing. How someone managed to find this is beyond me.
I mean, they probably needed to like maybe they were just like messing around and they long jumped into a wall and they're like, what is going on? And then started bouncing around and then they skipped the level. And they're like, wow, I'm a god.
This level is very, very good at killing runs at the very end of the game.
Yeah, Viper definitely has a harder time with this skip than behind the castle, which is actually quite the opposite for a lot of runners.
Yeah, but it looks like Viper was able to do the trick just fine. If you move kind of like up after the trick, like towards the thwomps, sometimes you can fall through the floor and die, which sucks. But if you stay down, you usually don't die. So then next he's gonna do Starshine Beach Comet, which is it's just kind of like a 30, I think it's 35 seconds are on the timer, and you just use the dash pepper. That's another purple coin level. It's kind of fun. And there's a small skip you do, but it doesn't really change much. So if you grab enough coins, before you go around like kind of the big circle in the water, you can actually just cut off to the right and go straight to the end of the level, and you'll probably see Viper do that unless he misses a ton of purple coins. This level's pretty fun. So yeah, he has plenty of coins here, so he'll grab the dash pepper with the tongue and just kind of move off to the side. Skip a little area in the back. He doesn't need those coins. And then I think he should be heading back to World 6 now to finish things up. Another thing to mention if you're getting into the game, there is a Discord server, which I'm not really the best person to talk about, like, what goes on in there, because I actually don't go in it very often. But I know there's plenty of people in there who have a lot of knowledge about the game and are able to teach people stuff, and there's new routes that get made that I usually don't know about. So it can be nice to go to. And if you need saves for the Galaxy games, for like Bank Toad or just for practicing, you can go on the speedrun.com forums and stuff, and like resources, and they're all there with multiple different languages. So if you wanna have a Luigi file but don't actually want to do 120 stars as Mario, you can just get a Luigi file for Galaxy 1.
Alright, did I miss anything like important?
Nope.
Alright.
So Viper's just doing the Comet for throwback, which is just, as said earlier, it's just the same as the second level pretty much. Another missed opportunity. And you know, we're speedrunners, so the timer doesn't matter anyways.
What? It matters. It's the most important thing.
I mean, our timer matters. The in-game timer.
Time always matters.
In Galaxy, this is a
That's a
speed
construct.
run, so
It's a fake speedrun.
You're right.
Time's just a construct.
we actually had hope for Nintendo after this game to make speedrun one word again, but Mario Maker 2, they decided to just call it 2 words again.
I thought they called it one word in like New Super Mario Bros. 2.
But they're on and off with it. They don't know the lore.
They don't respect the argument.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're really respecting the argument by pandering to both sides.
So Cantaloupe freeing Captain Toad as Claire finishes up Beat Block Comet, and Viper goes into his last star of the run.
Before Bowser, at least.
Yep.
This is Flash Black Comet, which is actually pretty cool. There's a bunch of what are they? Octoombas, something like that.
Octoombas, yeah.
There's
They're basically
Octorumba,
Mario's Octoroks.
Yeah, so they're going to be hopping around trying to shoot things at him, but he just has to kill all of them. And the fast way so what people would do casually is probably jump on them, but what we do is you shoot starbits at them and kick them. And you have to try to maintain starbits throughout the level as well, so you can keep doing that until the end when they give you Yoshi, and he is faster.
Yeah,
So-
Yoshi definitely speeds up this level, like, a lot once you get to
Yes.
him, but he's not until, like, halfway through.
Yeah, so this level's kind of interesting because it's a mix of like trying to make sure you keep moving, but also making sure that you're aiming at the enemies and not taking too much damage. So Yoshi's going to be right in here, and you can lock on to multiple targets at once when eating, so it can help you get through this last little section faster.
So, Viper looking like he's on 306 pace. If he gets a really good Bowser. So, pretty good run for him. His PB is like a 303.30, so that's very good. This would actually beat Valu's AGDQ time, which was a 308, Sludgy's favorite time.
Feels bad, man. Looks like Claire's successful in doing Gravity Gauntlet skip, so that's good.
Nice.
Time for the best skip in the game. There's
Oh
normally a
yeah,
cutscene.
so 3 years ago, actually almost 4 years ago now, I was messing around with the 242 route and just kind of going through the motions, and then I found
Yay!
that skip.
So, for those who don't know what just happened, Viper, that space before the Bowser level, if you go on it, there's normally a 30-second cutscene. But if you select the Bowser level with the Wii remote, you skip the cutscene. And Oddby found that just randomly.
And then when I found it, Sludgy was doing a 242 race with I think it was like Tech Boy or something, and I went into it. I was actually watching him the whole time as I was doing it. And I found the skip. I was like, wait, what just happened? And then I go into his chat and I'm like, dude, I think I found something. And then I tell him about it. He watches a video, and then he becomes like the first person to do it in a run. So both of us made
I'm
history.
famous. Yeah, so Viper's doing a nice little lava boost here. Normally you'd get a Dandelion from killing the Hammer Bros to float down, but you can just lava boost down. Also here you would use the drill power-up to like go to different sections of this little cylinder, but instead you can just go on top of the cannon and just long jump to the star. There's also a really big infinite flutter here.
Oh, yeah.
Will be coming up towards the end of the level.
In 242, the flutter is actually different because you need the Comet Medal, so we go way further down into what would be an auto-scroller, but because we did the flutter, we skipped it. But we're not getting Comet Medal, so we do the cooler flutter. And I believe Viper is going for top shelf, so he has a chance at soft locking here.
Yeah, so that little section there is pretty self-explanatory. You just kind of go through it quickly. So this next thing, normally what you would do is get Yoshi and move to the left. I think you'd kill some Magic Koopas or something, and then run through a giant firewall, and then go to an auto-scroller, which would take you to the end of the level. But instead, what you can do is you can take Yoshi and infinite flutter up here to the left.
I wish I could use Yoshi to bypass firewalls.
And then what you can do is you can do another infinite flutter here and fly right over this giant auto-scroller.
So Viper is going for top shelf here. You want to get a lot of height so that you land on the top shelf.
Cool.
Well, it makes it look free.
And if you don't get enough height, you just land on the bottom.
Yeah, and if you get too much height, then Mario gets sucked into the gravity of that cylinder section with the cloud power-up.
Yeah, and you have to.
But you actually land on the outside of it, so you can't do anything. So Mario just keeps falling, and you can't die, so you just have to exit the level and do it again.
Yeah. So looks like Cantaloupe's about to do Gravity Gauntlet skip as well. So hopefully he can get this.
Took damage. Claire's on Throwback Comet.
For this last Bowser fight, just like the last one, it's fundamentally the same. The moves are slightly different. When Bowser punches now, instead of there being one shockwave, he sends out like a lot. You'll see it. Cantaloupe gets the skip as well. So there is another phase skip on this Bowser fight. Just like the first or the second fight, where you have to hit the meteor towards Bowser after the first hit kind of late. It's just it's easier on this one because he starts attacking earlier. So you'll see Viper wait for just a moment.
Yeah, the thing that does make this fight harder is Bowser, well, as Sludgy mentioned in the Gravity Gauntlet fight, his shell hitbox is bigger, but later on in the fight he pulls his fist out of the ground faster, so if you're not quick enough you will just completely miss him if he pulls his fist out.
And also if you're really late, you can accidentally cancel a cycle that you don't want to cancel.
Yeah.
Looks like Viper screwed up on the second hit there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Alright. Viper's in the second part. Bowser's gonna blow fire again, because that's fun.
SGDQ starts June 23rd.
About a week.
Bowser breathing fire again. Just the same. All those meteors are really close together. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
How
a
did
little
that hit?
surprised
No,
that I didn't hit the
no,
shot.
that's not a hit. No.
Yeah. There's some weird hits that can happen here. So Viper's on the last hit here. Looks like Claire and Cantaloupe are still doing their cleanup. They'll be on Bowser pretty soon. And alright, there we go. The
Viper
Bowser
actually putting us all in a shock. He's getting a 304. Dang. That's
yeah, Viper doing a really good job finishing the final Bowser. So he's gonna move on up to the Grand Star and finish the
I
game.
thought he was gonna get a 306, but I guess he saved like 2 minutes in this level.
That was like the fastest Bowser level I've ever seen.
Just a few more long jumps and he's done.
Here we go.
What? Oh my god,
He's
Bowser's
back! Oh my god!
Plot twist.
What a shock!
Oh my god, this is
There's
insane.
another phase.
I've never seen this in any Mario game ever.
Ruined the 304. Okay, but this phase is
That
actually,
star grab's frame perfect, man.
this phase is really easy. For the first hit, you can just ground pound as soon as the meteor shows up, and then you just keep ground pounding. It's way easier than a normal fight. You only have to hit him 4 times.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is the best song in the entire game, and we hear about 20 seconds of it.
But now Bowser's actually beaten, so there's about a minute-long cutscene.
You're talking about Peach is the final boss.
There's about like 40 to 60. I don't know. I think it's.
I really
40,
want there
so.
to be a Mario game where there's like 5 fake outs in the final boss.
That would be really meta. Just Mario Maker 2.
Oh yeah, Mario Maker 2 does have story mode, so that could happen.
Mm-hmm. So Viper is actually going to be getting about a 306, which is what Oddme predicted, which is a pretty good run. Better than my PB.
Yeah, this beats Value's HGDQ run by around 2 minutes. So if he gets this at SGDQ, that's a really good showing.
But if he doesn't get Peach to say thank you, then I don't think it counts.
Oh, Claire missed a lava boost. And time 3:06:12, 13, same thing.
Nice
Probably a
run
different
from
time
Viper
on
there.
Viper's end. Yeah, 3:06:09.
Which is still really good. Alright, so it looks like Claire is now in the final level, missing... You can do the lava boost from higher up there.
Oh
That's
god, you missed it again.
But she's got a bit of a lead on Cantaloupe, who also is having disc problems again.
Not like
Disc
this
is the real
disc
enemy
emoji.
of the run. So now Viper's just got some weird fan service. I don't know, from some weird building from a dumb game.
Yeah, this building looks like it looks very familiar, but I'm not quite sure what it's from.
Man, it almost feels like the universe.
Dude, is that
reset.
Peach's Echo Fighter? Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's Space Peach.
Space Waifu.
Only had a cool story for one whole game, and then got reached into basically a Peach clone.
So I'm thinking Claire's probably going to be getting like 312, 311 maybe.
Probably somewhere around that, yeah.
So, again, for Viper, he's going to be running this game on Friday of SGDQ, so in a few weeks. So definitely make sure to watch that.
And if you are going to SGDQ, Viper, Claire, and Sludgy will all be there if you want to meet them.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure at some point there will be... I think there's going to be a Galaxy 1 race. At least
that's
between
epic.
me and someone else. So if you want to join in on that, definitely can.
Yeah, and I just want to take a quick minute and remind everybody that since we are in the month of June and SGDQ is coming up, starting next week, as the boys were saying, if you do subscribe or cheer in this channel in the entire month of June, that is going towards Doctors Without Borders. So if you do want to support the cause, we appreciate it, and you can subscribe right now. You don't have to wait until the event starts. So yeah, thank you so much for your support.
So smash that subscribe button. I'm kidding.
Alright, so Claire's heading into the final Bowser fight now. I guess we never really explained this, but when the doors open and they have like the little thing that sucks you in, you can, if you just move forward closer to it and it sucks you in, it'll just bring you into the warp area quicker, which is why the runners backflip, triple jump into it.
You can actually also break 2 locks at the same time, but it's like frame perfect or something.
Yeah, it's hard. Pixel perfect. It has to be like right in the middle.
Cantaloupe needs to get an extra coin there. Gets the lava boost. It's actually pretty crazy that every single Bowser level has a lava boost of some sort.
Indeed. Just makes sense. It wouldn't be Bowser if there wasn't a lava boost.
Twitch Prime coming in chat.
Oh yeah, if you guys have Amazon Prime, make sure to subscribe to Games Done Quick to support Doctors Without Borders. Because you can get Twitch Prime, and you get a free sub every month.
Man, the commentators are doing my job. I love it.
You can't be a
if you have a
Twitch
family
streamer
member.
without plugging Twitch Prime every 5 seconds. Come on.
Even if it's a family member, I mean, you could call your Uncle Greg and be like, "Hey, can I borrow your
Uncle
Amazon Prime
Greg.
account? Can I borrow your account?" And then you can get Twitch Prime, and you get a cool crown badge and emotes that are not great, but you know, whatever. Claire's actually able to hit that meteor before it disappears. That was good.
Alright, Cantaloupe heading into the Flutter. Oh yeah, Viper's in credits right now, just kind of messing around. If he grabs Yoshi at the very last panel of credits, he can die.
In dying credits, is it faster in 120 or 242? I thought I heard
no,
it saves like a
it's
second.
not faster to die in credits.
All right. Just some...
basically, if you do die in credits, oh, Cantaloupe got sucked in the gravity, just taken to death.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, if you do die in credits, it's not faster or slower. You don't crash the game. The whole screen just goes black, and you can still move your whole pointer and everything. You can still see your pointer, and the pages flip as normally.
And then it like goes back to normal at the end of the credits.
I actually don't know what happens if you game over in the credits.
Yeah, that would be weird. Does it even like know your life counter at that point?
Yeah, I have seen a credits thing that says the end with game over on top of it.
Huh.
Cantaloupe gets Flutter, heading into Bowser. Claire probably looking at a 312. Oh, Bowser!
Oh my gosh, the biggest plot
over.
twist of all time. Just like freaking Viper. Bowser over here losing time. But it'll probably be about a 314, maybe. Yeah. Looks
So
like Viper died in the credits, so runs over.
F. What even is Claire's PB? Is it like up to date on speedrun.com? Because last I checked, it was like 315.
Because Claire does a lot of 242 compared to any percent.
Yeah, if you do a lot of longer categories without doing the short one for a while, I actually experienced this myself. I did 242, almost like only 242. The last time I did an any percent run was probably like over a year ago. I came back, did one run, and PB'd by 6 minutes. So
looks like Claire managed to hit Bowser's shell on multiple occasions in that last phase. It's kind of unfortunate. But yeah, it looks like yeah, she's gonna be getting about a 314.
Viper gets to show off Luigi. Sick.
The better character.
Is he gonna be able to beat the final level before? Oh, he's actually going in perfect run. Okay.
Oh.
Showing off his donation incentive.
Which, if you want to see it on the big screen, make sure you donate during GDQ. Get that incentive filled.
Can he beat it before Cantaloupe finishes, though?
Looks like Claire, actually, this might be a 313. I think it is.
313.57. Nice. And she reset. Okay.
Wow.
Maybe we'll hear a
GG
different time in
on
chat.
second place. Mutants Abyss. How did that hit? I'm
The Bowser fight is very weird.
At these Bowser hits right now.
Cantaloupe almost finished as well. Still gonna be getting a sub 320, which is pretty good.
I think Claire's doing perfect run as well.
Yep, it's because perfect run. It's really cool.
I will say, literally, like, the only thing I know well about this game is Perfect Run because of watching people trying to finish the 602, massively sleep deprived and taking like forever to finish.
It's
Oh, yeah.
the best thing ever doing Perfect Run while sleep deprived. It's like amazing.
At the end of every 602, when there's just the person in the very back has been awake for like almost 2 days or something, and they're just doing Perfect Run.
Honestly, the majority of the people that I've seen do Perfect Run in a 602 have gotten it like first or second try.
Yeah, once
which
you do
is
it a
pretty
couple
crazy
times.
considering how many people are like doing 602 like either completely blind or like very casually.
I mean, you're bound to get better at the galaxies when you play both of them in one sitting.
Yeah. Like, I think Jono, when he did his 47-hour 602, he finished it like third try. Which is pretty nuts.
Cantaloupe's almost done here with the second Bowser phase. I think it should be one more hit. that's the last one. Looks like Cantaloupe's going to be getting a 316.
Yeah, it's around 10 minutes behind Viper, but Viper definitely had a much better run. Cantaloupe did play pretty well in the start, I'd say. But I guess he just started choking and losing more time over and over.
His disc kept, like, not...
Oh, yeah, his disc as well. Yeah.
That was unfortunate.
Alright, so Viper heading into the final section of Perfect Run. Probably the hardest part. Playing it safe here. Really wants to get this first try. Oh my god. Killing that Hammer Bro basically means you're good to go and play as safe as you want here, because you're not having to worry about getting sniped. Not doing the crouch strats. Cantaloupe like 3:16:48.
Still a very good run.
GG's to all three runners on
nice
their
work, Ollie. And Viper, good job on Perfect Run.
As you can see, their Twitch names are on screen right now, so go follow all of them.
Yeah, they're all really cool.
That's all right. So yeah, that was cool. Do you guys want to give any final thoughts and anything you want to shout out? Go for it.
The Galaxy Discord. I think Darkman, you made a command in chat. Go if you want to get into either of these games. The Discord is welcome to runners of both of the games, because the games are so similar that we don't really differentiate between the two. We just run both. So if you want to get into either of them, join the Discord. There's a bunch of helpful people, and you can ask for help anytime you want.
And as we said, there's usually a resurgence of runs during the summer, so I'm sure there's going to be a bit of people running the game this summer. So if you want to be part of that, you can definitely join the server, talk to people. It's a good time.
Awesome.
That's all I got.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you so much, Odney and Sludgy, for taking the time to provide us commentary for this race. That was really exciting, so thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and do a few outros and a couple of announcements to make before we head out. We'll just go ahead and stay on the screen, let Claire finish off the perfect run, which she did, which is awesome.
GG.
But yeah. Just a couple things we wanted to talk about. So I just want to, of course, thank the runners, Super Viper T302, How to Cantaloupe, and Claire for taking the time to erase this game. That was awesome. And this game, Super Mario Galaxy 2, will be run at SGDQ. It will be June 28th. That is Friday, and it's going to be at 1:03 a.m. Central Time. Of course, just keep an eye on the schedule at gamesdonequick.com/schedule, because the times will change due to the nature of a live marathon. So yeah. And a couple of GDQ announcements. Just a couple things here. If you are looking to watch more stuff on the GDQ channel, we will be having a broadcast tomorrow, which is the Tree Fort broadcast, which starts at 3 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be the Club Vania broadcast. So that's pretty cool. I think you can imagine what that means. Also, we do have the Frame Fatale submissions closing at midnight tonight. So if you are interested in submitting to that event, which will be happening August 18th to the 22nd, you can go to gamestonequick.com/hotfix for more information on that. And, in case for some reason at the end of this broadcast you weren't aware, SGDQ is next week. So we'll be starting June 23rd. That is Sunday. The pre-show starts at 11:30 a.m. Central Time. And you can, of course, go to gamesdonequick.com you can just go to gamesdonequick.com for more information, find the schedule, all that good stuff. So with that, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for us. Again, thank you so much. This was a great broadcast of Super Mario Galaxy 2. And we're going to go ahead and host Bayleaf, who's doing Super Mario Galaxy 1, so we can get some more Galaxy action if you're interested in watching. So go ahead, head over to Bayleaf, say hi. So we're going to go ahead and host them. And with that, I say goodbye. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.